There's a kid in a corner. He's not meditating. He's waiting for the server to respond. Because his stats are loading so far past cap, the system's rendering them in red. The world outside is burning beasts, alien invasions, academies scrambling for soldiers. And Su-hong is AFK farming the tutorial because he already read the patch notes. C-rank art in 1 second. Your life's work in 10 exchanges. He copies faster than you can swing. And there's no struggle arc here. Just a system that broke the difficulty curve and a protagonist who never asked for easy mode. His martial value hit -1,000. The system said congratulations. Not a bug, a threshold. He figured out debt is a resource when you know the game's backend. By the time the 3,000 emperors hear about this kid, he'll already be at the final boss arena. This is high martiality. And the tutorial just ended.
Our boy Su-hong is lying on his bed telling his uncle and aunt he's got his own problems handled, which is protagonist speak, for I'm about to do something extremely stupid and call it responsibility. Rewind 12 hours, and Su-hong's getting praised for his diamond fist improvement, still stuck at proficiency while some rando hit subtlety 2 days ago. The manga shows the cultivation stages: entry, proficiency, subtlety, and great accomplishment. Each stage represents a higher level of mastery. Classmate gives him the thumbs up, says nobody's at his level, which is the kind of compliment that ages poorly when you remember this is chapter 1, and the power curve hasn't even started its vertical assault. Teacher Lee finally finds the protagonist after searching through the school. He had walked past him twice without noticing. The Martial Division application fee is 30,000 yuan. The other students react with visible anxiety, aware they cannot afford it. 30,000 yuan has never been repeated with such traumatic energy, and I've seen crypto discords during a crash. And here comes the mandatory tragic backstory drop. Parents died in a beast disaster when he was 3, because apparently the cultivation genre has a quota, and someone's got to fill it. The family photo carries emotional weight. Several of the people in it are already dead, and the rest are fated to die as supporting characters in the protagonist's rise. Narrator voiceover, about martial artists being top earners while silhouetted figures stand on a pile of dead monsters like it's a LinkedIn achievement post. Uncle's bandaged and broken from overwork, aunt's rubbing his shoulders with the exhausted precision of someone who's done this 1,000 times, and Su-hong's watching like he's calculating interest rates on guilt. This is the panel we opened on, and it hits harder now. I'll handle my own problems, is what you say when you've already decided to commit several misdemeanors before dinner. He calculates how martial practitioners earn tens of thousands of yuan in a matter of days. The money motivates him to pursue that path. Cut to the underground arena where the announcer is offering 60,000 for 4 consecutive wins, which is either a scam, a death trap, or both, and our boy's already reaching for a bull mask. He puts on the bull mask. A single tear rolls down his face. The crowd dismisses him as an inexperienced newcomer who will lose quickly. He roars and flexes. The announcer looks surprised by his commanding presence. The audience did not expect such confidence from a masked unknown. Su-hong clocks the killing intent, notes the shaky lower stance on his opponent, and thinks easy pickings with the confidence of someone who's about to learn why underground fight clubs don't have referees. First fight starts, and he's already analyzing like he's watching a tutorial video at 2x speed, dodging and countering while the wolf-headed fighter realizes he's the tutorial boss who just got speedrun. Blonde guy goes flying, Minotaur raises his fist, the announcer calls the 1-win result flatly. Fight 2, Demon Mask tries to outpunch him, gets his own power thrown back with interest, and Su-hong's already calling for the next opponent like he's ordering at a drive-thru. After 2 consecutive wins, a man in a suit in the stands marks him for recruitment. The organization is scouting fighters from the illegal arena seating. White Fox shows up in a kitsune mask and white suit, looking like he cosplays as his own villain origin story, and the crowd loses it because apparently quasi-disciples are the celebrity tier of illegal combat. They charge. White Fox throws Su-hong back in the first exchange. Su-hong assesses the gap and commits everything to one counter. Bandaged fist glows, he lunges, trades blows with a guy who's supposed to be 2 tiers above him, and White Fox finally realizes this: Quasi's is hiding actual chi and blood like it's a tax dodge. Internal monologue confirms it. Real martial artist, holding back on purpose, which is the cultivation equivalent of smurfing in ranked and pretending you don't know the meta. White Fox lands triple-ringing Thunder Fist. Su-hong spits blood. While the crowd assumes he is finished, he studies the technique to turn it against her. Su-hong defends and braces, searching for a counter opening. White Fox keeps pressing the attack without letting up. Consciousness fading, prize money evaporating, and the cat-eared guy in the lab coat shows up to inform him that losing means 0 payout, which is honestly the most villainous thing in this entire arena. White Fox offers him a deal: throw fights, work for them, and Su-hong's response is the kind of principled refusal that only sounds heroic until you remember he needs that $60,000 for tuition. White Fox tells Su-hong to be a martial artist in his dreams. The words land while Su-hong is bleeding on the floor in front of her. Sword comes down, golden eye activates, and whatever this is, it ain't Diamond Fist anymore. He thinks of his family, their sacrifices, and the cracked photo frame. The system asks what price he will pay. He answers, everything. The system accepts and activates. Golden angelic figure appears, offers him a chance, and Su-hong's standing there like he just got a pop-up ad for godhood and accidentally clicked yes. He touches the golden screen, asks if it's a touch screen, and I need you to understand that this man is currently in a near-death experience, and his first thought is user interface design feedback. The beginner's guide opens. A holographic clone of himself appears and demonstrates Vajra Fist with better form than his own. He watches the clone's textbook form. He decides to copy the technique. They spar. He takes hits, spits blood, and keeps fighting. Vajra Fist proficiency rises from 7% to 10%. Vajra Fist reaches 10%. Su-hong is surprised by how fast he improved. The system displays the next tutorial prompt. 15%, 98%. The numbers are climbing faster than a crypto chart in 2021 and somehow just as sustainable. Floating Light Palm reaches micro-level. Void Step reaches micro-level. Vajra Fist advances from micro-level to mastered. He exhales, says thanks a lot to the empty room, and the system asks if he wants to return to reality like it's an uninstall prompt he's definitely clicking yeses on. Back in the arena, White Fox is mid-speech and Thunder Rush Fist is incoming. Su-hong's body reacts before he thinks, using the muscle memory the system trained into him. So slow, he says, and dodges and counters, and White Fox is experiencing the exact moment a speedrunner tells the tutorial boss to get good. Crowd goes silent, then wild, and Minotaur stands over White Fox like he's wondering when the achievement notification is going to pop. The announcer declares Su-hong the winner. He secures 60,000. A man in a suit in the stands sends 2 men to follow him. Su-hong walks home through night streets, glowing blue eyes dimming, and the tail he's picked up doesn't realize he's already clocked them because the system apparently came with a free stealth build. 2 suits search an empty alley while Su-hong's clinging to a building gap like he's playing Assassin's Creed with real stakes, taunting them from above because protagonist confidence is a hell of a drug. 1 hour later, at Su-hong's home, Uncle and Aunt are staring at a stack of purple bills like they've never seen this much money in one place, which they probably haven't. "Don't you trust me yet?" he asks, and they beam with the specific pride of guardians who have no idea what he actually did but are relieved. The rent is covered. Registration fees solved. Rent solved. Aunt's medical expenses handled, and he's sitting on a rooftop laughing like a man who just discovered cheat codes work in real life. He opens his status screen. Only martial skill levels have changed. The rest of his stats are unchanged. He scrolls through the interface to review them. His vitality is 90. He is at quasi-martial artist level. Golden energy surges through him as he prepares to test his combat power. Wounds healed, strength endless, he leaps off a rooftop heading for the school drill ground because nothing says Responsible power use, like property damage at 2 in the morning. Tier 1 combat power tester awaits. He winds up at 70% strength like he's being cautious, which is hilarious because the next panel is about to redefine what cautious means. Eyes glow, fist comes down, energy explodes, and the tester dies before it can even display a number. Old man in pajamas storms out yelling about which bastard smashed his tester, and 2 names come up, Chen Shan and Li Tu, neither of which is Su Hong, which means our boy just got away with the perfect crime. He screams about educating them properly when school starts, smoke pouring from his mustache, and somewhere in the night, Su Hong is walking home with 60,000 yuan and a system that just proved it works. A Tier 3 martial artist walks into a high school dojo, and the students lose their minds like he's the final boss of the tutorial zone. This is Chen Tian, an old war buddy of an important figure, here to teach a C-rank martial art called Thunder Rush Fist. The students have never seen a Tier 3 before. Their standards are low. Su Hong watches from the crowd and immediately understands the technique. 1 punch, 3 impacts. He is already calculating how fast he can break through this thing. Our guy clenches his fist and thinks, I must seize this opportunity. Which is protagonist for, I'm about to speedrun this entire curriculum before lunch. Chen Tian announces 10 demonstrations from start to finish. The students get 1 look at the footwork and already know they're in trouble. This isn't a class, it's a filter. Basic level, 1 thunder sound. Proficient, 3 sounds. Micro level, 5 sounds. The instructor hits micro level and the students are already gassed just watching. Then he reveals the ceiling. Perfect realm, 9 sounds. That is his current limit. The man has trained this technique for years and is daring these students to catch up in a single afternoon. The second demonstration starts. The students try to follow along. By the end, they are collapsed on the floor, exhausted. C-rank martial arts are physically brutal. 1 student asks if anybody found the trick. The answer is no. The trick is apparently having talent, which is not a trick, it is simply being skilled. The instructor asks where Su Hong is. Su Hong is not there. Su Hong has already left the building. Su Hong does not need 10 demonstrations. Su Hong needs 10 minutes in a corner. Meanwhile, Chen Shan, the school's top student, strikes a pose and announces he reached basic level. The crowd cheers. The standard is low. Some visiting bigwig calls this passing level at best. The students are offended. The bigwig is correct. Everybody's main character syndrome just got diagnosed by a professional. Old Lee is criticized for his batch of students. He defends them. He should not. The other man says 1 student reaching basic is good enough. The standards are falling. They walk off muttering about how cruel the martial Dao is, how talent is everything. They have no idea that somewhere on campus, a student is about to break through far beyond that. Cut to 7. Sound thunder rush, fist crackling across the drill ground. Somebody is hitting micro-level. Somebody in a student uniform. The observers are trying to figure out which prodigy slipped in from another city. Chen Tian hears the news and is stunned. Half a day? A student reached mastered? That is not normal learning speed. Then somebody says, 9 sounds. 9 sounds. Old Chen grabs the fence like it's the only thing keeping him in this timeline. He understands everything now, which is more than we can say. Chen Tian throws his own Thunder Rush fist to verify. 8 sounds. He broke through on the spot just witnessing this. Su Hong's existence is now a buff for nearby cultivators. He credits the inspiration. He should credit the trauma. Nothing motivates a Tier 3 like realizing a teenager just surpassed his entire career in a short break. They rush to find the student. The student is gone. Dashed outline on the ground like a video game character who logged out before the cutscene finished. Su Hong speedran the encounter and dipped. Our guy strolls down the street with his messenger bag, green eyes calm, probably thinking about dinner. He just broke a Tier 3 instructor's mental model of reality, and he's not even sweating. System check. Thunder Rush Fist, perfect realm. Vajra Fist, mastered at 5%. Floating Light Palm, micro level. Martial value, 0. He spent it all. He has no regrets. He has no money either, but that's tomorrow's problem. He stands before the martial arts hall at sunset, a lone figure with a full skill tree and an empty wallet. The grind never stops. The grind cannot stop. The grind is the point. The next morning, a new problem appears. A purple-haired disciple named Li Yan is terrorizing the spear class, kicking students around as if they were training dummies. Li Yan's whole deal is calling his own teacher mediocre and then beating up anyone who agrees. It's a very specific psychological operation, and it's working. The class morale is in the negatives. Su Hong's friend explains the situation. The new instructor looks down on commoners and teaches with minimal engagement. His disciple has adopted the same attitude and stronger combat ability. Li Yan throws a punch at some poor student and Su Hong catches his sleeve. Just the sleeve. The disrespect is calculated. The disrespect is personal. The disrespect is about to escalate. Li Yan demands to know who this is. Su Hong says, "Let's stop here." Li Yan says, "Get in the arena." Su Hong says, "Fine, I'll oblige. Our guy does not seek conflict, but he will absolutely install it when prompted." The instructor, a man in formal attire, watches from the balcony. He is curious. He should be worried. The student he is about to test has already defeated one instructor this week. Li Yan smirks, says, "You're lucky." Su Hong thinks this person is a bit too arrogant. The understatement of the episode. Our guy's internal monologue has the emotional range of a loading screen and twice the processing power. The instructor announces the final Raging Sea Spear technique lesson. The rule remains, demonstrate once, then learn or fail. Su Hong reacts to the single demonstration. He accepts the challenge. The instructor does not believe anyone can learn from one demonstration. He is about to become the second instructor this episode, whose assumptions are overturned by Su Hong. Su Hong grips the spear. Blue energy crackles. His eyes glow. The system parses the technique, breaks it into components, and optimizes the execution. He is not merely observing the demonstration, he is internalizing it. The instructor finishes. The staff lies broken on the floor. The back row could not see the technique clearly. Su Hong saw everything. Su Hong saw details the instructor did not know were there. Students complain about the scam. Su Hong thinks about the core technique, spear like a flood dragon treading water. He gets it. He gets it the way you get a joke 3 seconds before everybody else. He grips the staff. Energy surges. The system confirms what he already knows. Raging Sea Spear technique. Proficient. He learned it from one demonstration. The instructor demonstrated. Su Hong mastered it. He unleashes the technique. Somebody screams, "Holy crap!" Su Hong learned it. The class is in shambles. Their brains cannot process what their eyes just reported. The students ask if they're too stupid. Yes. The answer is yes. Li Yan storms out yelling about noise. He's not mad they learned it, he's mad who learned it. Li Yan watches from the doorway, purple eyes narrowed. He admits Su Hong learned the technique. He wants to test Su Hong's depth. He wants to know whether this is genuine talent or something else. The instructor offers pointers on Su Hong's spear technique. This is like a bronze player coaching a smurf. Su Hong says, "Okay." Su Hong is polite. Su Hong is also about to demonstrate why this is unnecessary. Su Hong's friend warns him about Li Yan's strength. Su Hong says, "Please enlighten me. That's martial arts for, I'm going to learn your entire technique in the next 30 seconds, and there's nothing you can do about it." Li Yan goes first. Raging Sea Spear technique, micro level. Blue energy floods the hall. He's good. He's actually good. He's also about to become a tutorial for the real main character. Su Hong closes his eyes. Not a bluff. Not fear. System processing. File downloaded. Countermeasures ready. He opens his eyes and the gold aura says everything his mouth won't. Raging Sea Spear technique. Proficient. He returns the attack. Same technique. Higher level, faster execution. His water dragon overwhelms Li Yan's. Li Yan's face does the thing where disbelief becomes existential crisis. How is that possible, he asks. Proficient level, Raging Sea Spear technique, from one look. I broke the tutorial before it loaded, my guy. Our boy is gassed. Like, just finished a boss rush at 3 a.m. and forgot to hydrate's gassed. This is the face of a man who has been corner training so hard, the corner filed a restraining order. Li Yan returns. He has raised the Raging Sea Spear technique to proficient stage. 2 massive energy swords clash, And Li Yan's internal monologue is basically, he's not even a martial artist yet. How did he? Bro, you watched him copy your technique in real time. The denial is architectural at this point. Su Hong lands the finishing blow. The system announces, defeated, a martial artist above your level, martial points plus 35. The points came from sparring alone. Another plus 32 drops. Li Yan hits the floor with the kind of existential damage that doesn't show up on the health bar. Impossible, there's no way. Buddy, the way is right there, it's been there, you just refused the quest marker. Li Yan's on his knees like he's auditioning for a shonen flashback episode. All my years of, yeah, we've all seen the training montage. Su Hong saw it once and said, got it thanks, skipping the cutscene. Li Yan tries to keep fighting. An instructor intervenes and orders them to stop. The match ends as a lesson. The instructor hits Li Yan with, if you can't even face defeat, what kind of martial artist are you? And then privately thinks he watched me demonstrate it just once, yet he's already mastered. The hypocrisy is seasoned. Public roast, private panic. The instructor rules that Li Yan has talent, but is too arrogant. Losing to a genius will help him. Su Hong thinks that the instructor changes his opinion quickly. Su Hong walks home at night and reviews his gains, thunderclap fist, raging sea spear technique, and a large amount of martial points. He is committed to continuing his training. Then, reality hits. He needs a weapon for the exams. He looks at a spear priced at $69,800 and his wallet says no. The little money he has isn't even enough for Auntie's medical bills. Capitalism has entered the cultivation chat. He spots a notice, ferocious beasts increasing outside Star City, recruitment drive for martial artists. The lightbulb moment hit so hard, I felt it through the panel. Bro's about to turn monster hunting into a side hustle. At home, Auntie is scolding Uncle for still working part-time. Uncle is bandaged from an injury. Su Hong enters with his duffel bag and says nothing about the match. Su Hong tells Uncle to quit working, he will handle the money. Uncle refuses to sit idle, then gives a thumbs up that shows he will keep working in secret. Su Hong knows the truth. Uncle and Auntie are used to being poor. Unless he earns enough to last a lifetime, they'll keep grinding themselves into dust. The burden of broke relatives is the original emotional damage debuff. He dumps every martial point into vitality. The interface flickers, 95.2, one step away from martial artist. He's sitting in pink flames like he's in a lo-fi beats thumbnail, contemplating his next move. The aesthetic is accidental and perfect. Preparations complete, he declares. Then he collapses onto the gym floor, exhausted. His stated readiness and his physical state are sharply at odds. He reaches the Star City martial artist base. He complains about how far it is. Despite his recent gains, the walk tires him. Inside, martial artists everywhere, which is apparently unusual. An older guy with a mustache and an axe confronts a younger guy with a spear. The energy is Walmart parking lot at 2 a.m., but everyone knows Kung Fu. Su Hong reads the fine print. After killing a beast, remove the left ear as proof. Otherwise, no payout. The bureaucracy of monster hunting is unrelenting. Even in a cultivation world, you need receipts. The crowd parts for young Master Yi. He is blonde, masked, and has a fox-like demeanor. Someone in the background mentions he was defeated a few days ago. Gossip travels fast here. Su Hong observes young Master Yi, then notices the silver-haired figure behind him. The political alliances are already forming. Su Hong watches and assesses the situation. An older man asks if this is his first time entering the wild alone, then calls him an ignorant, fearless brat. The ignorant part is wrong. Su Hong knows exactly how strong he has become. Su Hong declares he will return with a full haul, then immediately wonders whether all the outer forest beasts have already been killed. His confidence shifts to confusion at once. Other people have been farming this zone for weeks. The Nethermoon Wolf appears, Tier 1. Initial stage, standard specimen, with glowing red eyes and visible fury. Su Hong recognizes it immediately because he studied. He prepared for this exam thoroughly. The wolf howls, lunges, and Su Hong meets it with a thunderclap fist that sends it flying. One shot. The wolf went from apex predator to physics demonstration in a single panel. The kill feed would be embarrassing. Oh, he's going for, the wolf lunges again. Fist! Lightning cracks, the wolf dies mid-air, and Su Hong's internal monologue is, Is this what fighting a monster feels like? It's even more exciting than I imagined. This man is main character syndrome incarnate. He smirks, clenches his fist, and calculates. A rank 1 early-stage beast falls in one move. What about mid-stage? His confidence rises rapidly. He is not breathing hard and is already considering the next difficulty tier. Next, a raging black bear. Also, one shot, $3,000 in the bag. The system reminds him, accumulated martial points sufficient to break through to martial artist. He's been in the wilderness for maybe an hour, and he's already eligible for a promotion. Then the ground shakes. A serpent emerges, massive, dark-scaled, glowing yellow eyes, the kind of enemy that gets its own health bar across the top of the screen. This is not a wolf. This is a raid boss that wandered into the starter zone. Other martial artists are already being defeated. One man is thrown against a wall, another screams in midair. The whole party is in shambles. Su-hong watches from his rock, evaluating whether to intervene. So fast, he observes, as the serpent moves in ways that break the game's animation budget. The gap between I can one-shot wolves and this thing eats parties is the exact moment where protagonists either level up or become a cautionary tale. A wounded martial artist wipes blood from his mouth, asks to borrow a spear, and Su-hong observes the group's desperation. These are actual martial artists being defeated, and Su-hong has not even officially ranked up yet. The power differential is becoming a problem. Su-hong states the calculation aloud. Killing a rank 1 late-stage beast would normally require a team of martial artists. But his martial arts are all cultivated to perfection, and he already easily defeated a mid-stage raging black bear. The exception is decisive. So right now, I have the ability to fight this black jade giant python. The understatement is weaponized. He steps forward, spear in hand, and the serpent opens its maw wide enough to swallow a sedan. This is the "Are you sure about that?" meme in real time. Raging sea spear. Perfection. The water erupts, the spear pierces through, and the impact is so clean, the sound effect is just the universal noise of you thought. The serpent recoils like it just read its own death flag. The snake lunges back, furious. Su-hong meets it with a blade strike that splits its scales. He is not dodging or kiting. He trades blows with a creature 10 times his size and wins the exchange. Again, he shouts, eyes glowing blue, surrounded by ethereal energy. The serpent unleashes a torrent of blue from its maw, and Su-hong meets it head-on. This is not strategy. This is a man who has never been told no by a damage number. Sword clashes with fang. Energy explodes. The battlefield becomes a particle effects demo. Other martial artists are scattered like ragdolls in the background, while our protagonist solos the raid boss they couldn't handle as a group. The damage per second meter would be illegal. Su-hong's internal monologue shows tactical awareness. The size difference is too great for a fatal blow, so he must wear the serpent down first. He is already committed to multiple rounds. He does not seem concerned about stamina. He charges again. Thunderclap building, the spear a blur of intent. After the attack lands, immediately put distance. He's actually kiting now. The man learned mechanics from watching other people fail and adapted in real time. This is what speedrunners mean by optimized. Fighting like this is exhausting, but at least it's safe, he says, breathing heavily as the serpent circles in frustration. Both are reaching their limits. One of them is about to make a critical error. Bring it on, Su-hong shouts, and the serpent obliges with a lunge that kicks up enough debris to qualify as environmental storytelling. He's swinging, connecting, and then, surprise, someone else just entered the encounter. Who is that? A new figure lunges in, red energy blasting from his fist, and Su-hong's expression shifts from, "I got this," to "Excuse me, this is a solo queue." The nerve of some people. Party crashing a boss fight is a reportable offense. The masked figure with the glowing red blade is thrown for his trouble. He coughs, is clearly distressed, and is badly damaged. Su-hong watches this happen. His expression shows clear disrespect. Then the real party arrives. 5 adventurers led by a man in a tan jacket, and the leader says, "We meet again. How about you give this black jade giant python to me?" The audacity, the entitlement. I brought friends, so I'm entitled to your loots. Energy is prehistoric. Our guy's cornered, outnumbered, and apparently fresh out of tutorial zones to hide in. 5 martial artists think they've got him boxed. The metrics say he's outclassed. The metrics, as we will learn, are having a skill issue. One of them actually asks if they're afraid of one man. Brother, you are about to become a case study in why group content doesn't work when the raid boss reads your strategy guide before you do. Su-hong doesn't answer with words. He answers with a wooden staff to the ribcage that sends this purple-shirted gentleman into early retirement. The masked man lunges with his baton. The meek meets him head-on, reading the line of attack and countering before the strike can land. Glowing eyes, shadowed face, determined aura. This is the "I just remembered I have homework due at midnight's expression, except the homework is murder and he's already turned it in." Blondie is on the ground, unable to track the Mac's speed. The Mac was not holding back before. The enemy simply forced him to engage seriously. Somebody shouts that even rank 3 martial artists can't perfect the thunderclap fist. Su-hong's over here running 2 perfected techniques like he's dual-wielding browser tabs. The system didn't patch this. The system designed this. Su-hong has mastered perfection. Vajra, fist and perfection, thunderclap fist. The old swordsman tries to reason through it and fails. 2 techniques at perfection level should not coexist in one fighter. Su-hong reflects that if he hadn't wasted vitality on that python earlier, he'd just steamroll these Vaj. Even his internal monologue is humble bragging. I could have been more overleveled as a flex I didn't know existed. New plan, defeat them one by one, which sounds like strategy until you realize it's just, I will now kill you sequentially instead of simultaneously. The efficiency is admirable. The mercy is non-existent. Blue eyes glowing, hand outstretched, aura crackling. The mech takes a combat stance that signals a serious technique is incoming. The enemy is not ready for what follows. Bloodshot eyes, slack jaw, then a kick that rearranges someone's entire skeletal structure. The sportscaster in me wants to call this a combo. The human in me wants to call an ambulance. Neither will arrive in time. A suited man takes a headshot and disintegrates into black particles and light. Another fighter is struck down, blood spraying as he falls. The enemy force is losing members in rapid succession. The survivors are asking if they should run. Someone says, I must kill him today's, with the confidence of a man who has not been watching the same fight I have. The disconnect between ambition and data here is staggering. Blue energy blasts from eyes, swords swing, rifles get involved like that's going to change the outcome. This is not a fight anymore. This is a demonstration of why PvP mentality doesn't work against someone who farms PvE like it's a religion. Sword flash, shockwave kick, debris everywhere. The surrounding terrain is shredded by the force of the exchange. Trees splinter and the ground cracks under the impact. The old swordsman is sweating, shocked, asking how this kid got so strong in just a few days. Sir, it has been established. He didn't get strong. You got unlucky enough to spawn in his instance. Blondie kicks up dirt and curses. He channels blue energy through his armored arm, betting on superior equipment. The real gap is in skill, not gear. Void Shatter. The name alone sounds like a skill you unlock after the credits roll. Su-hong's wielding it mid-fight like he's testing it on live servers. The beta testers are dying. Literally. Weapon pierces energy blast. Sword shatters tree trunk. Debris flies like the forest just got patch noted out of existence. The void-shattering finger isn't a technique. It's a server crash with a cooldown. 3 beams of blue energy, each a void. Shattering finger, crisscross through the forest. The attack covers multiple angles at once. Wildlife scatters from the blast radius. Su-hong recognizes the technique is not low tier and considers it may be Class B. Right after eliminating the squad, he starts evaluating the loot value of what he has taken. Blondie threatens to kill Su-hong's whole family. Su-hong, silhouetted in blue, asks, "Kill my whole family?" with the tonal shift of a man who just remembered he left the stove on and it's about to get biblical. Extreme close-up of rage, then impact, then blue energy zigzagging through the forest like divine punishment with a routing number. The threat to his family just activated something the system doesn't have a tutorial for. A masked figure lunges. Blondie looks distressed, and someone presses a glowing blue symbol on their chest. The enemy is panicking. Su-hong does not slow down or negotiate. Weapon pierces symbol. Glowing blue eyes loom over crying man. Achievement unlocked. Emotional damage critical hit. The main character privilege isn't that he wins, it's that he wins while making you understand exactly why you never had a chance. Su Hong says he liked him better when he was acting high and mighty. That's not a taunt, that's a customer service complaint. Your earlier attitude was more entertaining before the breakdown. 1 star. Would not threaten family again. Determined glare, face struck at extreme velocity, eye patch man swinging his staff with a heavy impact sound. The violence is direct and decisive. The 5-man squad is being dismantled, one by one. Bloody face, energy blade, explosive burst as a body hits the ground with force. The blonde man who opened with a smirk is now defeated and down. The fight has turned completely against the enemy. Su Hong stands in flames, glowing sword in hand, and tells his enemy they should not have used his family as leverage. His tone is flat and serious. The mockery has dropped away. He is no longer speaking as a protagonist deflecting with wit. He is stating the consequence of the enemy's choice. Blondie's panting, bloodied, insisting Su Hong isn't even a martial artist. The observation is technically correct. He's not a martial artist. He's the reason martial artists need insurance. The category error is terminal. A figure screams in terror. A monstrous shape looms over him. His eyes are wide with shock and his cheek is bloody. The man who believed the metrics were falsified to spare his pride has learned otherwise. The metrics were falsified to spare everyone else from facing what he truly is. Giant snake returns, mouth wide, fangs bloody, because of course the ecosystem wants in on this. Su Hong spent too much time fighting humans, and now the PvE content is respawning. The tutorial, it turns out, was never finished loading. He just broke it before it could start. Vitality reaches 100. The system's notifications stop. Su Hong's body burns with intense heat. The breakthrough is active and pushing his body past normal limits. The giant python does not care about his personal growth moment and lunges anyway, which is honestly rude when someone's having their protagonist ascension cutscene. Su Hong declares he's finally a real martial artist, and the timing is immaculate because the giant snake was about to make him a real cautionary tale. Su Hong clenches his fist. Red aura pours off him. The snake sees the change and hesitates. The fist comes down and suddenly we're in a different genre entirely, the kind where the boss music was actually playing for the monster this whole time. Golden light pierces the sky. The snake's coils are doing absolutely nothing against this damage output, and somewhere a system administrator is getting paged about an integer overflow in the boss encounter. Vajra Fist lands. The force of the technique exceeds a normal strike. The snake counters with Thunder Rush Fist. Su Hong's Vajra Fist overpowers it. Su Hong bleeds from the mouth. The injury does not slow him. He is preparing his final attack. Thunder Rush Fist versus whatever Su Hong's cooking now, and the frame rate of reality is dropping because this particle budget was not approved by the engine. Golden energy detonates. The snake's chest becomes a light source, and this is what happens when you let someone grind in the corner for 6 chapters without checking their inventory. Smoke clears. Su Hong stands on the snake's corpse. He checks the drops, knife ready. The loot from the encounter is more than he expected. The surviving bandit gets the most condescending eulogy in history, ending with, "You got off easy," which is technically true because the other option was being the giant snake's afternoon snack. Su Hong considers whether he can loot the B-rank technique from Yefeng's corpse. Void. Breaking finger. B-rank, memorized in one sitting by campfire light, and the other students back at Academy are still doing breathing exercises while this man is pirating techniques from dead people. He emerges from the system's space glowing with blue energy, having completed his training. The skill progression bar advances from basic to mastered to perfect in rapid succession. He stares forward with that smug chin rest, already disappointed by how easy B-rank skills are, which is the most first-world problem a cultivation protagonist has ever had. Naturally, he goes to test it on some wolf-like creatures that did absolutely nothing to deserve this, and the blue beam from his finger deletes them with the enthusiasm of a delete key. Perfect mastery is achieved. The skill has no further levels. Su Hong looks for the next thing to improve. Cut to the exchange counter where a bald man is shouting about 230,000. Su Hong's haul has not yet been brought inside. The Thunder Squad's numbers are getting read out like sports statistics, and Su Hong's solo count is about to make their collective effort look like a group project where one person did everything. He's sweating now, not from combat but from the sudden realization that killing 400,000 worth of beasts might be slightly conspicuous, which is adorable because that ship has sailed, docked, and become a tourist attraction. Back at base, smoke rises from buildings. People ask how an attack is possible with so many high-level martial artists present. Yeqi's nephew failed to answer that same question. Yeqi orders a full blockade. Not a single fly escapes. The man he is hunting already killed a giant python alone and learned a B-rank technique from a corpse. News breaks that Ye Feng and his entire 5-man squad were wiped out. The crowd reacts with little grief. They resented the nephew. The crowd is celebrating Ye Feng's death like a holiday, while his uncle is screaming about missing B-rank skills and mandatory body searches, which is the most dysfunctional family reunion this side of any cultivation novel. Su Hong's already back in the crowd, looking at the corpses, doing the mental math on whether the giant python story will hold, which it absolutely will not, because he's the only person here who smells like B-rank technique and poor life choices. He moves through the crowd with his spear in hand. Shadowy figures surround him. They notice him but do not attack. Then this glowing-eyed man in a suit shows up asking about the 400,000 haul, and the red aura around him says, "We're not done with tutorial bosses yet, we just unlocked the mid-game difficulty spike." Our guy sits at the table, fingers laced together like he's about to negotiate with God, and honestly, he might as well be. Uncle and Auntie cry tears of joy over his martial artist-eyed. They believe this is the peak of his achievement. 10,000 a month allowance, and Uncle's already planning his retirement. Su Hong's planning how to break the integer again. He tells them he will hold the family up. His strength has already grown far beyond what they imagine. Cut 2. Su Hong training so hard his aura's doing the heavy metal album cover thing, flames everywhere, eyes glowing like he angered a graphics card. He stares forward. The beginner area no longer offers any challenge. The system did not anticipate this. No one did. Fist glowing, steam rising, and Su Hong looks at his own hand like it's a patch note he didn't read. The guidance technique section appeared. He learned it by existing. Vitality 123 and climbing, spirit at 26.5, mortal frame at 36% in the guidance techniques. Can only be modeled up by him. He asks it aloud, but the answer is already clear. This is the man whose martial value dropped below -1,000 and still received a congratulations message. Warning: insufficient martial points. The system finally found a limit, and Su Hong's about to treat it like a suggestion. Thunder Guidance Technique, Level 1. Then water, earth, wind. He's collecting elements like they're gotcha pulls, and he's got infinite currency. 7 different spiritual energies repel each other inside his body, and he meditates through the conflict. Most people would not survive it. Sweat dripping, flames erupting, eyes glowing with the intensity of a man who's about to discover something the devs didn't code for. Fire in one hand, thunder in the other, and he's asking the universe if they confuse. The universe hasn't answered yet because it's buffering. He unleashes a blast that would delete a normal person's save file, then immediately questions whether thunder and fire can actually combine. Scientist brain, murderer hands. Hands clenched, energy crackling, reaching toward something that shouldn't exist, and then dissipation. The first failure. There will be more. Damn it, one more time, again, one more time. This is not a training montage. This is a man speedrunning frustration itself. He pushes a little further. The 7 elements still resist full fusion. He has not yet unlocked their complete combined form. Darn it, fuse for me, and the explosion answers. Not with words. With light. With the sound of 2 elements admitting defeat to stubbornness. Tried all night. Finally succeeded. And he's crying. Not from pain. From the emotional damage of being right when everyone else would have been ash. His hand glows with fire and lightning fused together. He is already planning the field test. There is no celebration, only refinement. Star City Citizen Martial Arts Plaza. Robotic soldiers patrol the area. For Su Hong, this is routine. He specifically switched to a rank 3 combat power tester because the last one broke. The last one broke. This is his version of being careful. He sets the output to 30%. The thunder crackles with enough voltage to power a small district. He asks what the fused power of thunder and fire will do. The target panel does not survive long enough to show the result. A massive energy explosion erupts from his lightning punch. The tester does not just break, it is destroyed beyond measurement. The numbers cannot register. He clutches his wrist, shocked, and says his vitality is only 123. Only. The word choice of a man who broke the scale and blamed the metric. Swirling vortex of elements converging, and he's already thinking about fusing 3. 3. The man who just discovered fire is planning the Hadron Collider. He lies on a rooftop, exhausted, and considers the difficulty of what he has accomplished. He alone has solved it. Strained expression, holographic interface flickering, and this is the most relatable he's ever been. Even gods need loading screens. The next day, the crowd gathers at Star City High Number 1. Word has spread that something significant is about to happen. The principal takes the stage and announces that this monthly exam will be different. The students wait to see what the change means. Top 3 get genius training camp spots, and the students are losing their minds. Su-hong's losing nothing. He's already passed the camp. He's the final boss the camp prepares for. Our guy's confused about only first place getting in, which is funny because he's about to take first place by accident. Again, Su-hong has been absent for 10 days. Other students broke through to martial artists during that time. Su-hong has been breaking through dimensions. Chen Shan and Li Tu with their thunderclap fist, and some red headband kid talking about who's the real number 1 genius. Buddy. The real one isn't in the building. He's the building's emergency protocol. A student tells Su-hong that when he beats him, he hopes Su-hong can still be this confident. Su-hong remains calm and ready. Old Li's been looking everywhere for Su-hong, which is hilarious because Su-hong's been everywhere Li isn't. Optimization includes avoiding side quests. Jiang Ming arrives at the school with his disciples. The principal sees them and understands that a challenge is coming. Jiang Ming wants the first-place student after the exam, which is polite code for my disciples will humiliate yours on your own grass. Principal's internal monologue is just, damn, this guy's obviously here to embarrass me, which is the most honest thought any authority figure has had in this genre. Jiang Ming says, the student quality at the school seems poor. The students who hear him are angered by the insult. A purple-haired messenger tells the principal to look over there at Su-hong. The principal's attention shifts to Su-hong. It's that little monster, and the smug delivery tells us everything. Su-hong's reputation has preceded him. The reputation is underselling it. Jiang Ming lunges forward, surprised, pained, and suddenly aware that his entire plan has a Su-hong-shaped hole in it. That kid is actually from High Number 1. Jiang Ming says his 2 disciples are trash and could not compare to the principal's students. The principal nods in acknowledgement. Yes, we admit defeat, they say, which in cultivation speak means we will return with more firepower and less dignity. 2 men glare at each other with intense anger. The confrontation is unresolved and will continue. The exam takes place in a futuristic arena with a circular platform. 2 young men in tracksuits face off. The true final opponent has not been listed on the roster. The red headband kid shouts, "Are you going down yourself, or should I beat you down?" He charges at Su-hong. Violent throw, glowing punch, blue energy fist, and the opponent's already airborne before he finished his threat. Speedrun strats. No hit run. Good game. Su-hong lunges, strikes, and stands over the fallen opponent. The isolation training has made him lethal. Holy crap, since when was old Su so fierce? And the answer is, since always. You just weren't reading the patch notes. An older man with glasses and a younger man with spiky hair both react with shock. Su-hong stands in the smoke, hand on hip, looking down like he's waiting for the next wave to spawn. It won't. They broke the spawn system. Su-hong has cultivated the Thunder Guidance Technique to LV3 and the Heavenly Flame Guidance Technique to LV3. The combination is unstable and extremely dangerous. Earlier, before his techniques were revealed, observers believed Su-hong could be beaten. One defeated student asks if Su-hong is already Tier 1. Su-hong has not even shown his full ranking. The faculty reacts with alarm. Elders in formal robes lean forward, demanding to know where Su Hong came from. His strength comes from a foundation nobody examined closely. Meanwhile, the actual featured match is Chen Shan versus Li Tu, evenly matched, trading blows like they're both trying to remember their combos. This is the mid-boss fight the audience paid for. Su Hong's just the post-credits scene that ate the whole movie. Chen Shan's out here yelling about Tier 3 Marrow Fist like it's a flex. Li Tu answers with a lunge that says, "Your ult is my basic attack." These two are fighting for second place, and they don't know it yet. Xin Yan, the school's #1 ranked student, watches with a confident grin. Fire attribute projection erupts from Chen Shan. The crowd gasps. The narrator notes the timing. Then, Li Tu produces ice chains from his hand. The crowd erupts, shouting that Li Tu also knows attribute projection. Everyone present believes themselves exceptional. Su Hong is about to prove them wrong. Li Tu winds up the 5-sound Thunder Fist, which apparently has 5 sounds and 0 chill. Chen Shan's face does that thing where you realize you brought a fire spell to a thunderstorm. Impact. Chen Shan folds like a lawn chair. The faculty's taking notes now. Li Tu is hiding his true strength. No, he's hiding that there's a bigger fish. The ocean's been there the whole time, gentlemen. Several elders begin betting. One wagers 50,000 that Su Hong will take first place. The others laugh, despite having watched him dominate the preliminaries. Su Hong accepts the challenge. Their confidence is misplaced. The crowd splits between chants for Su Hong and for Li Tu. Li Tu is already glowing with water energy, confident he has reached his peak. Su Hong stands still, assessing whether the fight is worth his effort. Su Hong is bored. He has hunted so many ferocious beasts that these students feel like weak opponents with too much talk. He's been waiting for someone worth fighting. Li Tu is about to offer himself. Li Tu tells Su Hong he can have second place. Su Hong asks who is first. Li Tu has trapped himself. The answer comes as a fist, golden energy blazing around it. Li Tu screams that he is first and lunges with a single finishing technique. He declares the gap between them. He looked at Su Hong's strength and dismissed it as a skill gap. His arrogance will cost him. Chains erupt. 5-sound Thunder Fist from the opening bell. The spectators are already writing Su Hong's obituary. Is he crazy? He didn't dodge. He didn't dodge because the dodge button is for people who take damage. Glowing orange eyes. I just happened to want to see the limits of my physical body. Translation: I wanted to know if I could no-hit this boss. The answer is yes. The answer is always yes. Fist meets fist. The impact sends shock through the arena. A spectator screams for a medic. Su Hong is already planning his next move. Ice chains wrap around Su Hong. He strikes through them. Shockwaves ripple outward. His energy blade activates and cuts toward Li Tu. Li Tu cannot understand why his techniques are failing. Li Tu's fist clenches. His eyes go wide. The chains that were supposed to bind are now dragging him down like they read his contract and switched sides. Is this guy a monster? Each punch is so heavy. Welcome to the damage per second check, sir. You failed. Su Hong unleashes another chain strike. Wait, chains? He's using Li Tu's own aesthetic now. The faculty's faces have that "we need to update the curriculum" expression. Su Hong's strength is terrifying. Understatement of the fiscal year. One elder notes that Li Tu has already condensed an attribute, as if that changes the outcome. Another simply smiles, satisfied with his wager. The snow cracks, the energy blast lands, the fight is no longer competitive. Li Tu screams. Chains erupt around him. Defeat me if you can! He unleashes a desperate final phase. Su Hong still has not deployed his real build. Su Hong's internal monologue continues. I originally wanted to see how well I fight with just physical strength, but Li Tu went all out too quickly. Now Su Hong must exert what he calls a little effort. The distance between that little effort and Li Tu's full power is the entire fight. He lunges. Golden lightning erupts where water chains used to be. The technique Li Tu spent months on? Su Hong's running it at higher voltage with a week of casual practice. This is what peerless talent looks like in PvP. It's called griefing. You can use attribute projection too. Li Tu's face has entered the 5 stages of grief in a single panel. The faculty's on the ground, surrounded by golden energy they didn't budget for. Lightning attribute. Su Hong has also mastered the thunder guiding technique. Also, as if this were a list and not a war crime. Chen Shan's middle attribute is outclassed. The lightning is stronger and faster with more visible force. His lightning attribute is stronger than my metal attribute, Chen Shan says. But the real gap is not the elements. It is Su Hong's overall strength against Chen Shan's. You showed me your ultimate move. Su Hong is charging a technique that dwarfs Li Tu's final attack. Golden lightning crackles around him, the full thunderstrike formation. The technique was always available, only now has an opponent forced him to use it. 9 sounds. How is that possible? The face says it all. Blood, disbelief, the dawning horror that your S-rank technique has an SS-rank version, and the guy across from you installed the downloadable content before release. Su Hong clinches. The sky cracks. The chapter's almost over, and someone's getting refunded their pride. Li Tu is on the ground. Blood splatters across the arena. The crowd murmurs in disbelief. 9. Sound Thunder Fist. The perfection. They name it. They finally name the technique that ended the match. Cheering from the smart money. Shock from the old guard. One man's being held back like he's about to fight the result. And then the line that seals it. That's no simple genius. That is the dragon of our Star City #1 high. Patch notes just dropped, and the meta's never recovering. New act, new problem. Someone's knocking at Su Hong's door like they didn't get the memo about who answers. A woman in a suit, purse in hand, the whole, "I'd like to speak to your manager's" energy. Except she's the manager, and she's here to negotiate with a force of nature. You must be Su Hong. I'm Lin Nian's parrot. The top 3 competitors receive training camp spots. Her son did not rank in the top 3. She offers Su Hong 30,000 yuan to give up the spot. Su Hong stands between his aunt and uncle, stoic as a firewall. The woman's getting angry now. What kind of attitude is that? The camp was established to nurture geniuses, she says, waving red cards like they're supposed to impress someone who farms rank techniques. The competition is cruel. People die there. She throws the papers. Su Hong's aunt asks if it is true, if the danger is real. The worry in her voice is genuine. For Su Hong, the danger is not real. For everyone else, it is. The uncle steps in. Little Hong, can you guarantee your safety? Su Hong stares back, determined and resolute. He has been guaranteeing his own safety long before the system arrived. His silence is his answer. The woman's losing it. You actually believe a child's guarantee? The uncle does. The uncle who raised him, who knows what little Hong became while nobody was watching. Of course I believe him. If you've ever had someone trust you before you've proven anything, drop uncle in the comments. I'll wait. Besides, if I don't trust my own family, am I supposed to trust you? The door closes. The shoes fly. The woman in purple walks away clutching her purse like it owes her money. She came to buy a spot and learned the spot's not for sale. The whole system's closed beta. Su Hong apologizes for hiding the danger. The uncle's fine with it. I'm a rough man. You're more educated than I am, and you know that training camp. He trails off. The unspoken part. You know what you are. We don't, but we trust it. Thumbs up. Smile. The whole exchange is 5 words and more emotional damage than the entire fight sequence. Su Hong's got people who believe in him without understanding him. That's the real buff. That's the passive that never shows up on the character sheet. Night. Rooftop. Su Hong stands alone because even the corner was not isolated enough. Even though uncle and aunt support me, they must still be secretly worried. He is the only one who knows the numbers are false. He is not risking death, only their peace of mind. System check. 285 martial value from a dozen matches. Su Hong finds the reward insufficient. Void. Shattering finger. Perfection. Raging sea spear technique. Perfection. The list continues. His system interface now shows many techniques mastered to completion. Mortal frame plut 0.1. Mortal body plut 0.1. The numbers tick up like he's idling in a clicker game. But 64.6% completion means he's still farming. Still 35.4% away from whatever comes after mortal. The game's holding back the next tier like it's saving it for a season pass. I only cultivated the guidance techniques for a few days. I didn't do anything else. The suspicion dawns. Could normal cultivation be enough? No extra conditions? The system's either bugged or Su Hong's the bug. Either way, the devs aren't patching it. Lightning in one hand, fire in the other. In that case, I'll try to raise them another level. The industrial background doesn't know it's hosting a man who breaks progression curves before breakfast. The elements crackle. The night doesn't end, it just waits for him to finish. Sunrise. Rainbow light on skyscrapers. Eyes open with red and gold glinting. The I haven't slept, but I've ascended look. Thunder. Guidance technique, LV3. Heavenly flame. Guidance technique, LV3. We opened on this. We're closing on this. The loop's closed, the build's complete, and the tutorial's still loading for everyone else. Morning departure. Baseball bat over shoulder, parents waving, the whole okay, I'm off then. Energy of a kid going to summer camp. Except the camp is a death arena for geniuses, and the bat's probably a spear technique in disguise. Family doesn't know. Family never needs to. The parents whisper their worry once he is gone. You say that to me, but aren't you just as worried? They are trembling. They are pretending to be calm. They are the family of someone they love walking toward a danger that is impossible for ordinary people to survive. Su-hong walks. Determined eyes, sword in hand, speed limit signs irrelevant. Then, screech. Red convertible. Blonde woman, sunglasses, black dress, stop. The president of the Star City Martial Arts Association doesn't send a text. She sends herself. Get in. No, please. No explanation. The woman knows profiles, knows exactly what Su-hong is and isn't, and she is still giving him a ride. The car speeds. The highway blurs. The episode has one more information drop before the credits. President, did you need me for something? The president knows profiles. The president says, as the president of the Star City Martial Arts Association, I know the profiles of some of the people present. Some. Not all. Not his. She is driving a mystery she has not solved yet. Su-hong smiles slightly. He is confident in the back seat. Regarding the genius training camp, there are some things I must remind you of. The monster's there, she says. Class B martial skills minimum. The difficulty spike he has been waiting for. Those monsters, the skills they've mastered are at least Class B. She thinks this is a warning. Su-hong's internal calculator says, more martial value per kill, better drop rates, finally some worthy experience points. Rank 2, martial artists need 200 points of vitality. They're actually people. Yes, there are. He's not one of them. But I'm not afraid of Class B martial skills. With the system space, I can learn. He catches himself. Almost said the quiet part loud. The president continues, oblivious. Even if you face setbacks, do not take it to heart. With your talent, success is inevitable. She thinks he's nervous. He's budgeting inventory space. I understand. Thank you, Sister Wu. He smiles, glances to the side, and he is already calculating the mountain view as a farming route. She watches him and thinks, knowing full well his vitality and skills are inferior, he remains calm. She does not need to worry about his mindset. She needs to worry about everyone else's. She thinks he's going into the lion's den underleveled. The lions are about to find out he broke the tutorial before it loaded. The Tianlin mountain range spans across Star City like a loading screen that never ends, and our boy Su-hong is already sitting in the back seat looking like he's mentally away from keyboard farming. The narration states that the area is filled with ferocious beasts. In cultivation terms, killing them yields martial points. Two bears with glowing red eyes emerge from the darkness like they got the memo about the protagonist arriving, and the students in the car immediately start acting like they've never read a manhwa before. Su-hong looks forward and admits he is starting to like this feeling. It is the most emotionally vulnerable he has been in 13 chapters. They pull up to this dusty tent encampment that looks like a music festival got invaded by a military coup, and the three protagonists in matching tracksuits stand there like they accidentally joined the wrong Discord server. A man with a ponytail and goatee surveys the scene with sharp focus, while a hooded man with glasses peers over his shoulder. The students line up looking like they're waiting for a sneaker drop, and Su-hong stands there with a white cloth tied around his head like he's cosplaying as his own difficulty setting. Su-hong grabs a wooden staff and says, "Let's go," with clear confidence, while three young men in identical outfits stand behind him uncertainly. The older man in the suit announces that there is an entrance exam as well, and the student who asked the question reacts with visible surprise. A convoy of luxury sedans arrives, and a student mutters that major families are making everyone wait. Goddess Xiao Yan steps out with spiritual telekinetic energy radiating from her, and Ling Xinghe of the Lin family arrives, nearly at rank 2. Barbarian God Wang Tiantuo arrives in a black tank top, like he's already mid-workout, and the City Lord's Sun energy is so potent, I can smell the nepotism through the panel. Su Hong sizes up the 3 top geniuses of Star City with the expression of a speedrunner who's already seen the any % route, while some unseen audience member challenges their genius credentials like a Twitch chat during a casual stream. The examiner stands before the crowd and explains that they have embedded tokens inside ferocious beasts. The students look stressed and confused like they just read the patch notes and realize their main got nerfed, while Su Hong smiles faintly because he's already calculated the optimal farming route. One student says he will kill more beasts and earn martial points, another worries about encountering something beyond his level, and the examiner replies that it is simply bad luck. Someone complains it's not fair, and the older man hits them with the line that this world isn't a game of house, which is genuinely the most honest thing anyone said in this genre since ever. Another voice adds that after 10 years of cultivating, being swatted by a powerhouse is ordinary, and the group starts walking into the forest with resigned determination. The suit guy tells anyone scared to quit now and save them time, calls the hesitant ones trash, and points with the confidence of someone whose save file is already backed up. Su Hong's eyes glow red, and he hits the suit guy with electrical energy so fast, the man doesn't even get to finish his trash talk, which is what we in the industry call a skill gap. Su Hong observes that the training camp is genuinely ruthless, and that they are actively encouraging students to fight each other. Some hooded figure with white hair wonders if fighting these guys would earn heaps of martial points, and the examiner says, "Enough talking, the exam begins now. Everyone get out." The device beeps. Soldiers charge forward shouting. Blurry figures run in panic. Su Hong walks through the forest alone while everyone else sprints past him, and some guy immediately starts chasing another shouting about sending him packing right now, which is how you know the PvP mentality kicked in before the loading screen finished. 2 figures sprint through the forest exchanging threats. One fighter with glowing fists shouts a death threat and closes in. Theo fires a blue energy blast from his fist. Another man throws a shockwave punch. 2 suited fighters clash, trading bright energy beams. Red impact effects flash across the screen. A lone figure stands on a broken tree branch. A suited attacker lunges forward with a glowing blue strike. Su Hong stands there with a spear looking thoughtful, calculating that even if he beat these guys, he wouldn't get many martial points, which is the most optimizer brain thing he's done since Chapter 1. Some rich kid walks away calling everyone paupers and saying training hard is useless, and Su Hong thinks he shouldn't let these free martial points go to waste, which is how you know the class warfare arc just became a farming opportunity. An older man smirks with menace. 2 young men grapple while holding hands in a strained combat stance. Su Hong steps forward with his wooden club and invites them to face him instead. The rich kid turns around asking what level Su Hong is, daring to break up a fight, and our boy just stands there with his wooden pole like he's about to demonstrate why gear score doesn't matter when the player skill gap is this wide. Su Hong stands defensively between 2 other young men. The rich kid lunges forward, screaming that they look down on him. Su Hong responds, revealing he has been training far longer than the exam suggests. A blue fist punches forward with debris flying everywhere. Su Hong's eyes glow red as he lunges with speed blur, and the rich kid's face goes from confident to in exactly 1 panel, which is a new record even for this series. 2 suited fighters keep battling in the background. One man looks down at his defeated opponent in shock. A man in green lunges with incredible speed. An older swordsman grips his weapon saying, "Your turn," and somewhere else a person sits cross-legged, looking at their hands like they're checking if the patch notes updated mid-fight. 2 men stand in the forest looking intently. Then one admits he shouldn't have mocked the other because he's strong too, and they walk off arm in arm like the fight never happened, which is the most emotionally mature thing I've seen in this genre since never. More figures walk through sun-dappled forests. Su Hong unleashes a blue energy attack with his sword, then sprints forward with a golden spear leaving motion lines everywhere, and those striking blue eyes look forward with the intensity of someone who's already thinking 3 encounters ahead. Giant tusked boars with glowing red eyes charge down a rocky slope, And someone complains about another initial first-order boar like they're disappointed with the drop rates, which is exactly the kind of gamer brain rot this series encourages. The boars snort aggressively. A warrior silhouette faces them with a spear. A close-up shows intense eyes. A boar takes a direct golden energy blast as the word echoes appears on impact. Su-hong stands in the forest as a boar charges with yellow energy. A shadowy, monstrous figure lunges from behind, and then our boy looks surprised because the system notification says he only got 9 martial values for defeating a martial artist when he used to get dozens. 3 holographic panels pop up showing martial values, +7, +6, +10, and our boy thinks, whatever, he needs to hurry up and find a token, which is the most relatable thing he's said since the series started because we've all been there with the side quest fatigue. Su-hong lunges forward with a knife. He wipes his hands with a cloth afterward. Sword strikes ring through the dense forest as he continues cutting down targets. A man falls through the forest holding a spear. Su-hong reflects that he used to run into a dozen low-level beasts, but now the spawn rate feels nerfed, and then a monstrous black tiger with glowing red eyes lunges forward like the difficulty slider just got adjusted. A man with spiky black hair watches from dense bamboo. Su-hong's eyes glow blue. He says he has finally found one, a high-tier first-order night shadow, black tiger. A hand glows with blue energy. Su-hong lunges forward with a glowing blue finger aimed down, and the technique name Ode Piercing Finger appears as a beam of energy erupts from the tiger's chest in a massive explosion that probably voided the warranty on this forest. The monstrous beast roars, blood spraying from its mouth. A tiger-like creature lunges forward with motion blur. A wolf-like beast slams down, creating a shockwave. Su-hong lunges with his staff channeling blue energy. A golden blade wreathed in blue energy swings down with immense force. A warrior in blue armor creates a powerful energy wave, and our boy strikes down the monstrous tiger with glowing red eyes using his spear. The system pops up martial values, +35. Su-hong kneels over the defeated black tiger with golden stripes, and then he holds up a bloody training token with a surprised and slightly disgusted expression because, of course, it was inside the high-tier beast's stomach. A horde of charging boars appears beside a snarling tiger. Su-hong notes that deeper forest zones hold higher-ranked beasts, but fewer in number. Our boy decides, rather than pursuing quality, he should just go for quantity, which is the most broke-to-optimized mindset shift I've ever seen, and then some man clutches his chest where a dark swirling mass is emerging, like the system just tried to install an update mid-combat. Su-hong walks through the forest, unaware of a monstrous creature lurking in the foreground. A deer's bloody head floats in red liquid surrounded by bone structures. Someone's arm glows with golden energy and is covered in blood, charging for another strike. Sunlight filters through tall trees with a faint rainbow. A horde of wild boars charges with lowered snouts, and then a monstrous wolf-like creature lunges forward as a bright red energy blade slices through the air like the difficulty curve just remembered it has a job to do. Su-hong clenches his fist. A red energy slash cuts through the background. A figure in blue clothes stabs another person. Blood splatters. Su-hong looks forward, intense, as red energy streaks across the panel. A man with spiky black hair surrounded by orange flames says he finally found a middle-tier one. After killing dozens of first-order beasts, Su-hong leaps forward with a punch that creates a blinding explosion, and a monstrous creature roars with its mouth wide open, revealing rows of sharp teeth. Another monstrous beast roars with saliva dripping from its jaws. Red onomatopoeia floats above a dark tunnel structure, and Su-hong lunges forward surrounded by golden aura with his fist extended like he's about to speedrun this encounter before the cutscene finishes loading. A glowing red energy slash narrowly misses a fallen figure. Su-hong unleashes a glowing punch that shatters the ground beneath him. Someone falls from above with a red glow emanating from their eye. A tree trunk is struck with immense force, leaves scatter. Su-hong stands in the forest with his pole weapon, looking determined. Someone walks forward in white and blue sneakers, a golden weapon visible. Birds fly over a vast mountain landscape. Something blurs fast through the forest with light rays. Su-hong looks to the side, surprised, and asks what the noise was. A massive, golden-winged beast soars through the sky. A colossal golden-feathered bird descends from above a dense forest, its eyes glowing ominously. A lone man with a spear stands ready below. A giant, fiery, phoenix-like bird screeches, glowing claws and wings spread wide. A young man with glasses looks terrified and says the Beast King's power is terrifying. Su Hong grips his golden spear, legs bent, preparing to strike. Su Hong stands there gripping that golden spear. And I need you to understand something. This man has been grinding initial first-order bores for martial values like they're going out of stock. He just watched a Beast King descend from the sky like the final patch note nobody read, and he's still preparing to engage. If you've ever been so over-leveled for the tutorial that the game accidentally spawned the endgame boss early and you thought, finally, some content, drop unranked in the comments. I'll wait. The Beast King's power is terrifying, the glasses guy said, and he's not wrong, but what he doesn't know is that Su Hong broke the tutorial before it loaded, and the system has been trying to catch up ever since. Qin Tianli arrives at the Golden Rock Beast King's territory and announces himself as a rank 7 Grandmaster. He expects the beast to submit without resistance. The Golden Rock Beast King refuses. Qin Tianli attacks it repeatedly until it yields. What follows is basically a fireworks display with property damage. Golden feathers, golden explosions, golden ego, everything's gold except the rock's patience, which has fully depreciated. Qin Tianli repeats his name and rank like he's reading from a business card that also functions as a death warrant. The rock finally evacuates, presumably to write a strongly worded review. A student with glasses watches the battle and realizes how powerful humans can become. The sight leaves him shaken. Lin Zhe and Bai Mu show up to suck up to Grandmaster Qin with the enthusiasm of LinkedIn connections at a networking event. Rank 5 martial artists, formally dressed, fully prepared to witness greatness from a safe distance. The monitoring room displays students fighting beasts while officials observe and record. One student is identified as possessing the barbarian god body. Grandmaster Qin spots someone dodging his pressure coverage like they're running a VPN on school Wi-Fi. The man's impressed, which in this universe means either promotion or execution. Then the monitors land on our boy. Deflecting energy attacks with a sword, concentration maxed out, looking like he's grinding dailies while everyone else is still in the character creator. A staff member opens Su Hong's file. The data reads, all attribute affinity, 100%, special physique, tier 1, early stage cultivation, blood chi 123. Qin Tianli revises his assessment of Su Hong from once-in-a-century talent to once-in-a-millennium talent. He studies the figures with visible tension. He straight up says he's struck gold, which is probably the most honest thing a cultivation elder has ever admitted about a student. Usually, it's all destined disciples, this and heaven's will that. Then he sees the tier 1 early stage label and reacts with anger. He finds the low cultivation rank incompatible with the rest of the data. Qin Tianli paces and demands to know where his treasure is. The other staff overhear him use the word openly. Su Hong finally strolls in, blood-stained, sword on his back, admitting he almost forgot about the training camp because he was too busy farming martial value. That is the most protagonist sentence ever constructed. Qin Tianli grabs him like he's claiming a lost package, while some background observers immediately start plotting how to deal with this kid in camp. The jealousy queue forms to the left. Please have your resentment tickets ready. The students enter the training camp. The facilities carry A-rank ratings, and contribution points are earned through grueling training. The students weigh the costs against the benefits. The camp director explains the system. Passing training subjects earns contribution points, which unlock facilities. Outstanding performance earns extra rewards, and the staff will monitor the results. Su Hong checks his interface, 354, martial value, 2 guiding techniques at level 3, and a plan to max out his mortal body. The man is min-maxing in a single room while others are still reading the terms of service. Su Hong spends the points. Overlord body activates. He grips C-grade alloy and crushes it. The system calls it the strongest physique in the world. Su Hong panics about his spear breaking until he remembers he looted it for free in the wilderness. The man's financial anxiety is fighting his loot goblin instincts and losing badly. Wang Tiantuo, the student with the barbarian god body, lifts 3,000 kilograms and calls it light. The onlookers react with shock. The camp staff watch Wang Tiantuo's performance and immediately pivot to scheming about Su Hong. Can't be direct, can't be fair, gotta make him give up on his own. This is middle management villainy at its finest. The order comes down. Assign a high-rank first-tier martial artist to crush Su Hong. Not test him, not evaluate him, crush him. A superior's pride has been wounded by his record, and the response is personal. Next morning, the weight room. Vests ranging from 1,500 kilograms to 10 tons of super heavy alloy. Students are picking their loads like they're choosing difficulty settings before a boss fight. Su Hong throws on a tactical vest, 5 tons hidden under a hoodie like it's casual Friday. The man is walking around with the weight of a small truck and the expression of someone who forgot their coffee. Wang Tiantuo enters the gravity room still wearing his 3-ton vest. Su Hong sees this and revises his standard for what counts as strong. Other students see Su Hong heading for the gravity room and begin betting on his failure. No vest is visible on him, so they judge him weak and foolish. Their confidence outpaces their observation. Su Hong calculates 5 tons at double gravity, realizes that's 10 tons, adjusts to 1.5 like he's optimizing a spreadsheet. The gravity room hits, and he's immediately feeling the weight of his own decisions. Observers call him weak, a joke, the tail ender. Inside the gravity room, he is cultivating faster than the others because the room's effects are genuine. Their mockery only fuels his focus. Su Hong exits exhausted, gets mocked for being out already, while some guy brags he could sleep in there. The gap between perception and reality is wide enough to park Wang Tiantuo's ego in. Next facility. A-rank movement technique called Flying Swan. Startling cloud steps, which sounds like a prog rock album but apparently lets you airwalk like you're hacking the physics engine. Lin Xinghe sets the difficulty to maximum level 10. The holographic instructor moves too fast to track, launches flower petals as part of its pattern, and Su Hong immediately studies the sequence. Other students laugh at Su Hong for trying to learn an A-rank technique in real time. The laughter ages poorly when he starts matching the hologram move for move, percentages climbing like a crypto chart in 2021. 30%, 69%, 93%. The system is practically begging him to slow down. Entry-level mastery achieved, first A-rank movement technique unlocked, and he did it while everyone was still loading. Su Hong registers an internal success, then recalls that Lin Xinghe's movements were ornate and theatrical. The technique is his now, but its accompanying form is part of what he has absorbed. He exits the simulation, and everyone is staring. Someone took photos. Su Hong realizes with horror that he was striking those poses in physical reality, not just virtual space. The cringe is transcendental. Someone is following him now. 2 men, armed with a club and hostile intent. Su Hong senses the threat. He is still preoccupied with the aftertaste of the technique's theatrical form. Cut to the beast room. A woman demands to know who is truly number 1 in camp. Wang Tiantuo displays his barbarian god body. She reveals she is a spirit reader. Su Hong understands he's about to watch a high-level confrontation. The spirit reader floats in mid-air because walking is for peasants. She kills 3 high-level rank 1 black tigers in an instant, and Su Hong's taking notes again like this is a masterclass he can torrent later. She's walking on air, using telekinesis, controlling enemies with spirit power, basically playing a different game than everyone else. Su Hong's eyes are glowing with the light of someone who just found a new skill tree to max. The spirit reader binds a 3-eyed wolf monster, dodges golden energy beams, and finishes with a sword swing that leaves blood splatter as punctuation. The combat is cinematic, generous, and completely unfair to conventional martial artists. Su Hong processes what he just saw, walking on air, telekinesis, enemy control, giant spear weapons. Spirit readers are basically playing with admin privileges while everyone else is on a free-to-play account. She summons a crystal sword the size of a building. The blade materializes from nothing and impales the serpent's head. It weighs several tons. She controls it without strain. Another spirit reader appears, blonde, and leaps into golden light wreathed in fiery orange energy. The camp holds more than 1 spirit reader. Su Hong registers the shift in the hierarchy of power around him. The observers are losing their minds. Another A-rank technique? Lin Xinghe has one, Wang Tiantuo has one, now the spirit readers are showing off. This camp is stacked with people who broke their tutorials before they loaded. Su Hong watches Wang Tiantuo punch a high-level rank 1 beast into digital fragments with pure physical strength, no technique required. The man's so strong, he doesn't even need to use skills, which is somehow more insulting. The hooded observers confirm it is pure physical strength, with no technique buffs. Su Hong decides he will find another chance to learn from Wang Tiantuo later. He intends to copy the entire build. Meanwhile, the two men with the club finally act while everyone is focused on the main confrontation. They wait for the spectacle, then strike from behind. Su Hong is about to be attacked. They peek into the beast room and freeze. Su Hong is facing a colossal scorpion-like monster, solo, no backup, looking like he's about to find out if his new A-rank movement technique works better than his common sense. Our boy Su Hong is out here farming beasts like they're daily quests, except his version of grinding makes everyone else look like they're playing a different game entirely. The observers finally notice something wrong when they identify his movement technique, and the collective realization spreads through them. They name the technique aloud: Lin Xinghei's Flying Swan, Startling Cloud Steps, A rank, impossible to master by observation, and the protagonist continues moving. The Revenge Squad's having an emergency meeting about whether revenge is even in their build anymore, which is the most realistic villain moment this genre has ever produced. Su Hong stands on a dead snake counting his martial value, like he's checking his bank account after a shopping spree, and the number is not what he wanted to see. The scaling has not changed, and the protagonist discovers that the late-stage experience requirements demand far more kills than before. More beasts emerge from the darkness with glowing red eyes and absolutely no survival instincts, queuing up for the Su Hong experience like it's a limited-time event. He clenches that fist, and the golden energy comes out, which means someone's about to learn why corner-training protagonists are statistically the most dangerous demographic in cultivation fiction. Meanwhile, a hostile figure with glowing blue eyes is robbing others for martial value, the most aggressive player versus player attacker the training camp has seen. 1 hour later, the atrium is littered with bodies. Su Hong is exhausted despite the Overlord body's passive regeneration, and he still lacks enough points. He needs 735 martial value total. 400 can come from beasts, 300 from the weighted vest, and the remainder is still missing. He hits the exchange shop and discovers A-rank skills cost 2,000 points minimum, which is the game's way of telling you to touch grass, except the grass is also behind a paywall. But the Tier 4 Spirit Focusing Pill catches his eye. It costs 500 points and boosts mental power, and Su Hong decides to buy it. The shopkeeper's face when she sees 700 contribution points is doing heavy lifting, because nobody expects the corner kid to have main character economy. He also asks about alloy spears with lightning and fire attributes. He is checking available weapons. He is 25.5 martial value away from the Spirit Reader threshold. 1 pill, 1 attempt, and the most hopeful expression he has shown in a long time. The pill takes effect, and his nervous system relaxes. Green energy swirls through his chest. His mind goes crystal clear. The system pops up, showing thunder and heavenly flame. Guiding techniques, both at level 4, and martial value sitting at 490. He is at 99.5% to Spirit Reader, 0.5% short. He calculates whether one more beast will close the gap. The instructors laugh about how powerful their assigned students are. One admits his student is only Tier 1 early stage, while the others boast 300 plus blood chi. Grandmaster Qin arrives, calls the target a Tier 1 early stage. Nobody, and orders them beaten until crippled. He knows exactly how the pieces are arranged. The ambush arrives without warning. Purple energy descends. Su Hong looks up, interrupted mid-session. Swords come out, purple energy cracks the stone, and our protagonist is suddenly in the middle of what looks like a raid boss intro cutscene, except he's the one without the health bar. Bu Jingfeng charges in with that distinctive haircut and the confidence of a man who thinks he's the final boss, screaming about luck like it's a debuff he can apply. Su Hong sees him coming and recognizes him as exactly what he needs. The realization lands. They clash, purple against purple. Bu Jingfeng strains. He confirms his own high-tier status under pressure. Then the strength hits different, the "wait, this isn't right" moment. Every antagonist gets right before the tutorial ends, and Bu Jingfeng's competence starts doing that thing where it evaporates. Overpower comes out. Red energy screams across the panel, and Bu Jingfeng is suddenly experiencing what it feels like to be the tutorial mob in someone else's origin story. The observer asks if the kid is a monster. Su Hong notes this is his first time seeing a fire attribute martial art. Lightning meets fire. The panel goes white from the clash. The energy is overwhelming. The explosion settles, ice shards everywhere, and someone finally says the words out loud, attribute fusion, like it's a forbidden technique, when really it's just what happens when a protagonist reads 2 skill books. Attributes repelling each other is supposed to be truth, universal truth, the kind of truth that kills people who test it. And Su Hong just looked at that truth and said, hold my spirit-focused pill. Blazing slash meets deflect. Grind. Clang. Bu Jingfeng realizes his fire technique is feeding the enemy's lightning. The man goes down. Martial Dao value +7 appears. Su Hong has enough to become a spirit reader, and his expression shows it. The system displays the full stat sheet. The numbers are impossible for this level. Others react with shock. Grandmaster Qin approaches expecting a defeated student. He finds Bu Jingfeng motionless instead. The implication takes a moment to settle. Su Hong defeated Bu Jingfeng. The question hangs in the air like a death flag, nobody planted, and the ground explodes with red kanji because this story doesn't do subtle reveals. The taunt comes in hot, bring someone stronger next time, this one wasn't enough, and the sheer disrespect of winning then complaining about difficulty is peak protagonist behavior. Then the report drops, Thunderfire dual attribute, fusion. Qin Tianli's face shifts from smug to calculating to something close to responsibility. He explains that attribute fusion is supposed to be exhausting, limiting, a trap that keeps you at tier 1 forever, and Su Hong did it in under a month because comprehension goes brr. 7 attributes, the man says, 7. And if he fuses them all, the emperors of the 10,000 worlds might actually have to update their threat assessment. Qin Tianli blushes. Actually blushes with hearts floating around him, then declares he'll become a sinner to the human race if he lets this monster die young. 120 vitality crushed nearly 500, 4-fold difference ignored, strength boost exceeding known constitutions, and the math is officially broken beyond repair. Organize a match tomorrow. Test his combat power and vitality. And the grim stare says everything about how this training camp just became a proof of concept for something the world's not ready for. 7 attributes, 1 protagonist, 0 regard for the laws of elemental physics. I broke the tutorial before it loaded, and the devs are still writing the patch notes. 2 adult men were defeated by a teenage boy. They lie on the ground, unconscious or incapacitated, while the boy stands over them in casual clothing. But rewind with me, because this whole disaster started with Su Hong sitting in a hole like he's the final boss of an abandoned downloadable content zone, just vibing in blue light while the world screams above him. The man's grinding spirit +1, notifications like he's away from keyboard farming in an idle game, and then he hits us with the smuggest closed-eye smile in cultivation history. Bro thinks he's main character. He is. It hurts. He explains that awakening his spirit reader powers felt like an extra limb growing from his body. The sensation was foreign but natural, as if the ability had always belonged there. Spirit reading hits 100.2%. The reading exceeds the theoretical maximum, confirming that Su Hong's spirit power operates outside normal limits. A spear-wielding fighter continues striking and moving through the debris field. Su Hong floats nearby, suspended among the wreckage, observing rather than engaging directly. Su Hong's shopping list now includes an A-rank spirit martial art and Wang Tiantuo's whole offensive kit, which is basically window shopping at a store where he plans to steal everything and call it learning. The students sit bandaged and injured. They complain about the training camp's harsh conditions. One student says he was attacked before he could even get dressed. Grandmaster Qin arrives smiling. He addresses the students, congratulating them for surviving the midnight ambush and the sleep-deprived training regimen he designed. The underwear victim tries to explain his trauma and gets hit with the most devastating counter-argument in martial arts history. Would an assassin wait for your boxers? They christen him Underwear Bro on the spot. No appeal process. Qin announces a comprehensive test with real combat rankings and contribution point rewards. and the whole camp suddenly transforms from sleep-deprived survivors into ranked Q demons who would sell their kidneys for top 10. Su-hong examines the listed rewards for first place. He studies the point values and prizes, already planning how to claim them. They roll out this spider-looking combat monitor in a warehouse, and suddenly, we're in a mecha anime now. The tonal whiplash is so severe, I need to check if I clicked the right series. A student believes Grandmaster Chin is looking at him. Chin is not looking at that student. Chin's attention is fixed on Su-hong, and he is already considering how to train him. Wang Tiantuo announces he's taking first place for another A-rank art, and the red-haired guy's glowing like he thinks he's the protagonist. Buddy, I have bad news about the title of this series. Su-hong is called fourth, immediately after the top 3 ranked students. A student in a hoodie thinks Chin is watching him. Chin is not watching him. Chin is watching Su-hong. Chin literally admits he's putting the 3 strongest first and the weakest last for maximum psychological damage. This is not a test. This is a content creator optimizing for audience retention. Lin Xing delivers a sword strike that scores just over 4,000. He then states that sword strikes are his weak point, implying his other abilities are even stronger. Su-hong watches this, copies the whole technique in real time like he's downloading a torrent, and the system hits him with acquired Wind Cloud Hidden Gale Punch. No install time, no tutorial, just piracy with benefits. Yan lands a strike scoring 3253. The crowd reacts with approval. Then Wang Tiantuo channels golden energy, winds up, and unleashes a glowing golden fist strike at the testing monitor. Golden fist connects. Impact shockwave erupts. Red energy floods the frame. The testing monitor overloads and breaks. In the back, Su-hong smiles, already confident in his own upcoming result. The fight erupts. Wang Tiantuo ignites his barbarian god body, his orange hair flaring with energy. The woman fires golden blasts. The automaton stands motionless, waiting to receive the attack. 5,942. The number glows blue, and some random guy says he's jealous. Not terrified, not impressed, jealous. This camp has broken everyone's threat assessment permanently. Su-hong's over here learning weapon condensation arts that can make tables into weapons, then realizes his spirit power is too low and just files it for later. This man treats A-rank techniques like browser tabs he'll get back to. Wang Tiantuo charges a punch. His combat power reads 7,500. He throws it. The barbarian god body lets him hit far above normal physical limits. Su-hong watches this A-rank technique, copies it instantly, and the system drops Firebone Ghost Nether, Fire Fist, into his inventory like it's a Steam sale he wasn't even planning to browse. He remembers this technique costs 2,800 contribution points and just grins. Piracy is a victimless crime when the victim is about to demonstrate the technique for you personally. Free real estate. Su-hong steps in and throws one punch. The warehouse shakes. 4 adult witnesses stare at the blast. They realize a rank 1 warrior should not be capable of this. Grandmaster Chin checks his tablet and admits he still underestimated Su-hong. He recalls the time Su-hong once set up a midnight ambush in underwear. Even by that standard, Su-hong exceeded his expectations. The Bone Ghost Nether. Fire Fist loads to 100% in real time. His eyes go white like he's channeling every ghost in the server, and Wang Tiantuo recognizes his own technique, mid-punch. The betrayal is cinematic. How does Su-hong know it too? The same way your browser knows your credit card number. Autofill. Muscle memory from watching it once. The most disrespectful skill copy in martial arts history, and he's smiling through all of it. The automaton is destroyed. The combat power reading is too high to see through the smoke. Someone asks if they can read the number. They cannot. It has exceeded the device's readable range. Plot twist of the century. Su-hong's vitality is 137, rank 1 early stage. Hitting 9,000 combat power. The tester is broken, physics is broken, and everyone's understanding of fair is permanently shattered. Chin looks at this walking paradox and decides the only logical response is a 3-on-1. The other masters are like, him? 3 of us? And Chin's just standing there like a man who knows the boss fight music started early. The fight begins. Lin Xinghe immediately plans to retreat, confident in his flying swan's startling cloud step speed. He assumes Su-hong cannot react. He has missed the entire point of the demonstration. Dodge! Someone screams. Su Hong says goodbye. The punch connects before Lin Xinghei's neurons finish the thought. This is not a fight. This is a demonstration of why reaction time is a suggestion, not a rule. Yan applies mental control. Su Hong stands still, as if experiencing the technique for the first time. He is not alarmed. He is studying the crowd control effect. They coordinate, one blocking while the other controls. Su Hong counters by using Wang Tiantuo's own technique. He has now used the Bone Ghost Nether Fire Fist more effectively than its original owner. The white-haired master kicks with everything, and Su Hong just smiles through it. Someone notices he's smiling. The smile is worse than the punch. The smile says this man has not used a single % of his actual build. He brute forces through the mental control with raw physical stats, kicks off the ground so hard, the floor files a complaint, and Yan is coughing blood, wondering how strength became a valid counterspell. The white-haired master attempts a kick. Su Hong catches him mid-air. He drags him into a grapple and slams him down. The master is completely outmatched. Holy crap! Someone shouts, which is the most accurate commentary this episode has produced. The man with glowing white eyes stares through his opponent's soul like he's reading patch notes on their funeral. Su Hong kicks him through a glass window. The white-haired master falls through the air. He coughs blood. He is still struggling to process the defeat. And we're back where we started. Two masters, folded like fitted sheets, staring up at the teenager who just proved that the tutorial was optional, the rules were suggestions, and the crown was always his. Grandmaster Qin asks if anyone else will challenge Su Hong. No one answers. No one moves. No one breathes. Everyone has accepted that he is beyond them. One contestant surrenders before being called. Qin declares Su Hong the undisputed number 1 and awards him an A-rank technique. Su Hong, who has already copied A-rank arts, now holds one legitimately. Su Hong's first thought is that sticking out too early makes you a target, which is hilarious because he just 3-man wiped the entire camp's hierarchy. The hiding ship has sailed, burned, and become a reef. Qin laughs and says he likes smart people. He reveals that this whole combat trial was specifically arranged for Su Hong. The midnight ambush, the rankings, and the psychological pressure were all a personalized test for a man who skipped the tutorial. Qin offers to cover for him, asks what techniques he knows, and Su Hong lists 3 A-rank arts he definitely did not purchase. Qin's face does the math, realizes the piracy, and decides he's too talented to arrest. Main character privileges activate. Grandmaster Qin personally escorted our boy to the technique vault, which, in cultivation terms, is basically taking your Uber Black to the gotcha banner and saying, pull until you get the featured unit. First showcase, Flame Cage, an A-rank fire prison used to trap enemies. The old man demonstrates by conjuring golden flames that burn with unusual intensity. He produces a light blade and explains its instant kill potential. Su Hong watches with detached interest, already familiar with the technique's value. System notification pops. Acquired Fire Flame Cage. The old man hasn't even finished his sales pitch and Su Hong's already got it equipped. This is not a student. This is a black hole with a hoodie. Grandmaster Qin pivots to defense because apparently offense and movement weren't enough. He's building a loadout. This man is min-maxing our protagonist like he's theory-crafting a raid composition. Thick Earth Armor, A-rank, condenses spiritual energy into a dense defensive shell that also delivers counterstrikes. Su Hong is already calculating how to combine it with his other techniques before the description ends. Then comes the physique question. Su Hong drops. Overlord bodies like it's a preset he found in the character creator, and the old man's brain visibly blue screens. Heavens, a once-in-a-millennium Overlord body. The man is overwhelmed by the discovery and starts pressing A-rank technique cards on him. Plot twist. Su Hong invented the name himself. He made up a physique on the spot, and this grandmaster is now treating it like canonical lore. This is social engineering with extra steps. The old man recovers by citing actual evidence. Su Hong blocked Wang Tiantuo's full power punch while supposedly at first rank early stage. He has never seen power this dense on someone still at the beginning of cultivation. Phone call interrupts. Contribution logs reveal Su Hong was wearing a weighted vest during that fight, the kind of detail that recontextualizes everything and makes accountants have existential crises. Su Hong confirms, took it off, wouldn't earn contribution points. He's been running a handicap strat for farming efficiency. This is not training. This is speedrun category, weighted vest, any percent. Grandmaster Chin tells himself to calm down, calls the kid a monster, and clutches his chest as his heart races from the shock. The physical reaction is involuntary. The manager offers to hold the vest, receives it, and immediately feels its true weight. She remarks that it is a bit heavy. 5 tons. The floor cracks. A second-rank martial artist, a dignified manager of the martial arts pavilion, just got humbled by laundry with gravitational properties. Grandmaster Chin's response to this information is to offer another A-rank technique. He keeps escalating the rewards, trying to make sense of Su Hong's talent through increasingly valuable gifts. The catch: he has to trick another Grandmaster student into giving up their technique. We're doing PvP now, but the win condition is social engineering. Su Hong's about to speedrun negotiation. The system alerts again. Thick earth armor is acquired. Su Hong is learning techniques faster than the old man can explain them, each new skill registering immediately. Cut to Lin Chunfeng, green-haired, wood attribute, failing his control technique. He is frustrated because he knows he has talent but has not yet found the right timing. His grandmaster brags that his student isn't trash anyone can challenge. The dramatic irony is so thick you could condense it into earth, spiritual energy, and make armor from it. The two grandmasters meet in a snowy mountain arena, an impressive and isolated location. Old Jiang demands to see the genius Qin has been praising. Grandmaster Qin Tianli gets introduced with the kind of ceremony usually reserved for season pass reveals. The crowd greets him. Su Hong greets everyone back with exactly 2 words of social battery. Rank reveal, Tier 1 early. The crowd's collective brain does the math. Tier 2 versus Tier 1. Early is not a duel. That's a cutscene where the boss accidentally one-shots the non-player character. Lin Chunfeng's internal monologue is pure panic. How does he make this look competitive when he is supposed to win? He is not preparing to fight. He is preparing to perform, specifically to convincingly take a beating. Grandmaster Jiang sweetens the pot. Win, and you get another A-rank technique. Su Hong's motivation just became collect them all. We're doing Pokemon with martial arts now. Lin Chunfeng asks about the spear. Su Hong says he doesn't need it. The green-haired man's relief is visible. He thinks this is going to be easy. He has not read the patch notes. Fight starts. Lin Chunfeng lunges with sword drawn, green aura flaring, every visual cue marking him as the rival character. Su Hong is still calculating whether this counts as contribution points. Su Hong kicks. The kick is not a technique. The kick is punctuation. Lin Chunfeng recognizes an A-rank wind movement technique. His grin says, interesting. His survival instincts have not yet updated to the current threat model. Wood prison deploys. Control-type technique. Vines everywhere. Su Hong dodges once, twice, 3 times, and the vines are doing more work than Lin Chunfeng's entire build. Su Hong punches back. The punch speed makes Lin Chunfeng's eyes go wide. His punch is too fast, is the last thought you have before the respawn screen loads. Blue energy erupts. Su Hong's aura shifts. Lin Chunfeng blocks, strains, and the realization hits. This is not a rank 1 beginner. This is a final boss doing a low-level disguise run. Crowd commentary catches up. They identify the move as an A-rank defensive technique used by a rank 2 martial artist. They note that his strength might be greater than a ferocious beast. The onlookers finally understand the fight they are watching. Lin Chunfeng pulls out his own A-rank movement technique. You aren't the only one, he shouts, and the desperation is audible. This is not a flex. This is a Hail Mary with better animation. Green energy blast versus Su Hong's dodge. The afterimage is still resolving when the real attack connects. Speed is not just a stat here. Speed is the entire argument. Flame cage. Golden fire erupts from nowhere. Lin Chunfeng is inside before he processes the casting animation. The control technique he couldn't master is being used to trap him by a fire attribute user who shouldn't exist. His face goes from confident to afraid. Do I need to check my character sheet because the elements don't match? Fire attribute, wind movement, earth armor. This build has no respect for specialization. Grandmaster Jiang screams about Flame Cage at rank 1. His student mastered control techniques in the time it took most people to read the manual. The too absurd is left hanging because where do you even finish that sentence? Old Jiang questions the fire attribute. His student is wind. Su Hong is holding white flame like it's a standard equipment drop. The system didn't just break the tutorial, it broke the elemental chart. Lin Chunfeng, still trapped, realizes Su Hong is maintaining the cage and attacking simultaneously. That's something even rank 3 martial artists find difficult. Su Hong says, "Bingos," like he's confirming a grocery list item. Sword meets fist. Fire meets wood. The clash sends sparks that could power a small city, and Lin Chunfeng is losing the resource war while still technically having the higher rank. Wood evasion triggers. Healing recovery activates. Lin Chunfeng's special constitution is doing overtime, and Su Hong's response is to throw more. The negotiation tactic is overwhelming force. It is working. The damage output exceeds the healing input. Lin Chunfeng's too much is the exact moment every tank main learns that mitigation has a ceiling. The ceiling is on fire. Final exchange. Blood. Impact. The kind of hit that makes you check if your own ribs are still structurally sound. Lin Chunfeng is learning about damage scaling in real time. Wood spirit body, special constitution, strong recovery power. Su Hong sees this, processes it, and decides the solution is volume. More punches, more fire, more until the regeneration budget runs out. Lin Chunfeng shouts that first tier endurance can't surpass second tier. He's betting on stamina math. Su Hong is betting on the math being wrong. The math is wrong. Counterattack declaration. Lin Chunfeng goes all in. Green energy, spiked hair, rage eyes, the full shonen transformation package. Su Hong waits. Su Hong has seen this cutscene before, he skipped it. The green-haired man throws everything. The ground shatters. The air screams. Su Hong is not there when the attack lands. He is somewhere else, charging an attack that dwarfs everything before it. Yellow energy. Golden lightning. The fist comes forward and the frame rate of reality drops trying to render it. This is not a technique. This is attribute fusion, and nobody told the elements they were allowed to date. The punch connects. Lin Chunfeng falls. The arena goes quiet. The crowd cannot rank what they just saw. Standing figure. Prone figure. Crowd in shock. Someone says the punch power was almost S rank. My God is the complete sentence. Theology is now involved in the power scaling discussion. Old Jiang asks what kind of monster Qin brought. The answer is attribute fusion. The old man's shock is so intense that visible lightning crackles around him. His aura is destabilizing from the sheer volume of new information. Qin drops the full build, 100% compatibility with all 7 attributes, 7 guidance techniques practiced simultaneously. The other Grandmaster's brain does not blue screen. It factory resets. The payment is 1 A-rank Thunderspear technique, plus Palm Lightning as the ultimate skill bonus. Su Hong receives compensation for clearing the tutorial beyond its intended limits, and the rewards are lightning-based. Grandmaster Jiang's internal monologue finally catching up. Truly a freak. I've never seen someone like this in my life. Respect. Fear. The dawning awareness that your entire ranking system needs a hotfix. Training montage begins. First form, River Flip. Second form, Sea Overturn. Third form, Skybreaker. The 9 sky-breaking spears technique unfolds in sequential forms, and Su Hong begins drilling each one immediately. Su Hong's own thought, though I am like an ant before him right now. The humility is a private admission. The determination is genuine. The gap is temporary. He recognizes it. He intends to close it. He vows future power. The lone figure in the circular chamber. Blue energy everywhere. This is the moment where the protagonist locks in, and the audience remembers why we watched the tutorial break in the first place. Palm Lightning is even stronger than the spears. The goalposts keep moving, and Su Hong keeps sprinting past them before they finish settling. If you've ever outleveled content so hard, the game stops giving you numbers and starts giving you questions, drop overleveled in the comments. I'll wait. He needs to learn the spear technique quickly. The urgency is real. He is accelerating his training. A weighted vest remains in a manager's office, ready for the next session. Jin Tianli is getting absolutely cooked in public right now, accused of rigging a bet he clearly lost, and the other elder is just standing there like skill issue. Don't be a sore loser. This is the energy we're opening on. Old men gambling away, A-rank martial arts like they're trading Pokemon cards at recess. The scene flashes back to Su Hong standing on the training hall steps, already positioned to begin another disciple's training sequence. A goateed elder asks Su Hong if he has grasped the technique. Su Hong is about to demonstrate that he has, surprising the instructors present. Our boy just starts throwing lightning from his palm like he's been maining this build since beta, except he literally just installed the game. Su Hong immediately asks to be taught the next technique, and the elder pauses, unprepared for the request. The goatee elder is staring with this manic grin that says, "I have either discovered a once-in-10,000 years prodigy, or I am having a stroke, possibly both." Another elder arrives and states his disbelief that anyone could learn palm lightning without proper instruction. Su Hong has not been told this and proceeds anyway. Cut to Su Hong, literally glowing between his hands. And that skepticism ages about as well as milk in a sauna. One elder recalls that he needed 3 months to master the technique and was called a genius by his teachers. Su Hong has now mastered it in a single day. They start predicting he'll reach the 9th rank, which is elder. Speak, for I have no idea where the ceiling is and I'm scared to find out. Later that night, Su Hong's looking at his holographic stats like someone staring at a spreadsheet that keeps telling him he's poor. His blood chi is too low, his spirit needs strengthening, his physique requires improvement, and his available martial value is minimal. He sighs because nobody dares to duel him anymore, the most first-world problem a cultivation protagonist has ever had, and decides he'll just go kill beasts instead. Meanwhile, someone shouts that he's been tricked out of 2 A-rank techniques, revealing that the elders had wagered on the outcome. Night falls. A nervous man in a fur collar announces that the night raid activity is beginning, signaling the start of the cult's illegal operation. Bu Jinglong and Bu Jingfeng arrive with the bearing of major antagonists, though in this conflict they serve as secondary enforcers. One of them is still salty about losing to Su Hong earlier, vowing revenge if they meet again, which is adorable because he still thinks that's a choice he gets to make. The raid kicks off with someone screaming, "We're under attacks," and the building immediately experiencing what architects call unplanned rapid disassembly. Su Hong peers through his door at the disturbance, recognizing that the night raid has begun. A man in black lunges at Su Hong. Su Hong punches him in the face. A red impact mark covers the attacker's face as he reels back. Su Hong, still in pajamas, points out he didn't even ask a question and isn't even a student here, which is the most polite, "Why are you hitting me?" isn't shown in history. The attacker finally realizes this is the night raid, a fatal delay in the middle of combat. Su Hong smiles. The smile signals that he wanted this exact provocation. The cultists start hitting each other, which is what happens when your raid group's communication is just attack the building with no further instructions. One of them realizes everyone here is high level, and he can go all out, which is the last thought you have before discovering you're the lowest level in the room. First floor cleared, second floor entered. Su Hong advances while the main raid party is still briefing. The real fight erupts between the true threats. Su Hong holds back at the edge, waiting for his moment to enter. Multiple attackers converge on the green-haired wood spirit body user. His regeneration is so rapid that he keeps rising after each down. The masked man declares, "Come at me together." The room's mood flips from ambush to open challenge. Vajra Fist. The words appear like a system notification from a game that knows you didn't read the tutorial, and the golden fist that follows makes sure you don't need to. The masked man with the glowing fist looks like he just discovered his opponent has admin privileges, and he's a regular player with a cosmetic skin. He shouts, "What kind of power is this?" The answer is his own technique, copied and improved in real time. The green-haired kid raises wood prison in defense. The masked man punches straight through it. Defeat, he shouts his own move name like he's submitting a bug report, and the punch that follows is the system closing his ticket. Thick earth armor, someone activates their tank build, and it lasts exactly as long as it takes for the Vajra fist to find out what Thix means in this context. Blood sprays. Someone screams. The earth armor proves too thin to stop the blow. The final punch lands hard enough to bury the green-haired kid under debris. The system registers the collateral damage. Martial values. Plus 140. The loot drops for someone who wasn't even in the party, and that's how you know the experience points share settings are broken. Martial values. Plus 75. Awarded to the green-haired kid who was defeated. He lost, but the system still credited his contribution. The elders show up and immediately start accusing each other, because nothing says martial arts grandmasters like being unable to admit you lost a bet. One of them turns to Suhong and asks if he still lacks metal, wood, and water attribute arts. The question is an opening to offer more techniques. That smug grin means he is setting up another wager. Suhong is about to gain another A-rank technique. Wood strangle entry. Metal sharpness entry. The notifications stack one after another, each one registering a newly acquired technique. Water dragon entry. Our boy just collected the full elemental set faster than most people collect grocery store loyalty points. He says he could never have imagined possessing so many A-rank arts. The sequence of acquisitions has in fact occupied the last 20 minutes. Blood key G.1 begins repeating rapidly. His body absorbs the increments without visible reaction. 450. Blood Chi, 50 points for rank 2 breakthrough, and he's treating this like a mild inconvenience while the system is basically screaming, level up available. Now he's debating Spirit versus Overlord, body, with 100 martial values left, which is the cultivation equivalent of having $5 left on Steam and 2 games in your wish list. The Overlord body levels slowly, slower than he is willing to match. He sets it aside to train later. He decides to enter the beast room to gain more martial values. The purpose is to defeat beasts and raise his numbers. Then Grandmaster Qin shows up asking if he needs a healing art, and Suhong's face says, "You're about to lose another bet, old man." Hard cut to Grandmaster Wang Qingshan announcing 7 days in the Myriad Monster Mountains with no supplies, which is either field training or a very elaborate way to solve staffing issues. Contribution points are awarded only for kills of the same rank or higher. Suhong will either earn nothing or exceed the expected yield. Other students are flexing about being from the Hangzhou camp, and our boy is just standing there with 3 new A-rank arts like, "That's cute, I got mine from Elder Gambling Dead." Then the report arrives. The Myriad Race's demon cult has appeared. The elders react with alarm, though the night raid had already occurred. Don't worry, just rank 2 and rank 3 small fries. Famous last words from a genre that considers small fries to be anything that dies in under 3 chapters. Someone tells Suhong they do not expect first place. They only want him to return alive. The words are framed as encouragement but imply low expectation. 9 Cedars of Heaven Worship, Riverflip. Someone unleashes technique names that sound like prog rock albums, and the lightning that follows does not disappoint. Golden Ripple, staff technique that looks like someone threw a sun at the problem, and the problem is immediately reconsidering its life choices. A monstrous snake is sliced open. Blood sprays. A nearby field trip coordinator flinches at the spectacle. Vine Strangle. Green energy wraps around a massive, bloody target and tightens. The technique name matches the binding action. Dragon Head made of fire lunges through water while someone stands firm with a spear. And this is just Tuesday in the Myriad Monster Mountains. Our boy reflects that his new arts are very strong, which is like saying water is wet, or that cultivation elders have gambling problems. Technically true, but underselling it. Blood Chi Plus 0-1 continues ticking while he meditates. The notifications repeat in identical form. A red-haired man is dispatched to investigate something at midnight. The demon cult assigns its tasks during the night hours. He finds a dead tiger outside a cave and says, "Holy crap, there really is someone," which is detective work if you've never done detective work before. That sinister grin says he thinks he's the hunter, and we're about to watch him discover the food chain has been updated since he last checked. Our boy locks eyes with this red-haired menace and immediately clocks the celestial race tattoo behind him. The Myriad Race's demon cult. Bro brought a whole cult to a one-on-one. Cut to the aftermath of the ritual. Fallen soldiers lie around a burning altar. Swords are scattered across the ground. Su Hong sees the carnage and his whole demeanor shifts. No more calculating escape routes. This man is about to file a very violent bug report. The pink-haired man grins. He ignites his sword. He carries the confidence of a young master who believes himself untouchable. He comes in with the flaming aerial slash, full anime opening energy, and Su Hong just stands there, calculating. Like someone about to parry the tutorial boss for style points. Su Hong says he must go all out against his first rank 3 opponent. Golden energy rises around him. The fight has pushed him past his previous limits. Golden energy erupts. The panel goes white. The blast is not a named technique. It is raw system-backed force aimed to kill. The pink-haired man's jaw drops. A rank 2's casual blast scattered his rank 3 technique. The gap in their levels did not protect him. He is an entire level higher and uses an A-ranked technique, yet he is losing. Su Hong's lower-ranked attacks are overwhelming him. And the real kicker? Su Hong's supposed to be water attribute. Now he's throwing lightning. The build is evolving mid-fight. This is live respec with no cooldown. Flash. Golden thunder. The red-haired menace realizes he's not the protagonist of this encounter. He is the experience points. Su Hong shouts, Sea Treader. The technique name carries visible force. The attack lands with enough power to justify the declaration. The enemy's own attack gets overwhelmed. Stronger than my Sky Sun Slash, he admits. Bro, that was your finisher. That was your whole personality. He shouts that he must retreat. Su Hong hits him with a wood attribute restraint. Su Hong has already used water, lightning, and wood. The cultist's final form reveals itself. His skin cracks with magma. Rocks float around him and a single eye dominates his face. He has realized Su Hong is not merely human. He roars, feel the divine might of the celestial race. Su Hong punches straight through the attack. Divine might meets raw physical force. The transformation's incomplete. The body's rejecting the host. This is what happens when you install God mode cheats on hardware that can't handle the thermals. One punch. The possessed body launches like it got hit by a patch note nerf. Su Hong didn't even use a technique. That was just physics. Flame cage. Su Hong finishes the fight with fire. He has now used 4 elements. The system acknowledges the achievement. Piercing spear destruction. The name's longer than this fight's gonna last. Golden lightning. Japanese destruction kanji. The whole aesthetic package. Why, you monster, the cultist stammers, and that's the last thing he says before the loot drops. Killed, mutated celestial. Martial values plus 212. Su Hong stands in the wreckage, worried. His concern is not the fight but the sacrifice the cultists mentioned. Captured humans are still out there. Hangzhou training camp. Cut to the elders drinking tea. They say there is no need to worry about the demon cult. Their reassurance is premature. 3 days later, Su Hong's been farming. Rank 3 beasts like their daily quests. Then she shows up. Blue hair, wing tattoo, calling him little handsome guy. The disrespect is flirtatious. She swings that eye sword, and Su Hong's eyes light up. Not with fear, with martial value acquisition energy. A cultist. My currency just delivered itself. Water dragon. He leads with her own element, a deliberate psychological strike. The dragon forms in the sky above the battlefield. He decides the moment is right to ask about other outposts. He begins interrogating the cultist while the main fight is still ongoing. Get over here, he lunges, and the Mortal Kombat reference is not accidental. This is how you handle someone who thought they were the ambush. Speak, where is the outpost? The staff demands answers. The woman, bleeding on the ground, gives up coordinates like she's surrendering her login credentials. 2 rank 3s down, 1 left. Su Hong counts the remaining enemies in real time. He is already calculating the next move. The last cultist transforms. Wings, blue hair, the full celestial cosplay, descends with that I am your final boss's energy. Su Hong's already seen this cutscene. Golden beam through the back. She screams. The winged demon drops from above like a gotcha pull from hell. Just give me your martial values. The grind never stops. Myriad races. Demon cult. Sacrificial outpost. The title card appears on screen. Su Hong's party consists of his clones alone. "I hate human geniuses the most," the lead cultist screams. "Skin them, debone them, sacrifice them." Bro's villain monologue needs a content warning and an editor. The human geniuses stand defiant. "Kill, at worst we'll take them down with us," one declares. "The Grandmaster will avenge us." Their words carry desperate resolve. "If we're going to die, we die together." The masked man with the axe declares solidarity. The cultists laugh. The elders watch from a cliff, debating intervention timing like it's a sports game. Golden energy blasts through the forest. It does not come from the cultists, it comes from above. The reinforcements have arrived, and Su Hong is with them. Lightning crackles. Red eyes glow. Su Hong lands in a low crouch. The cultists are now facing a far greater threat than they expected. He strikes 3 times in one panel. The sound effects stack. The enemies don't fall one by one, they fall in batch processing. "Mine, they're all mine," Su Hong grins. And that smile has no business on someone supposedly saving people. This is not a rescue, this is resource acquisition with collateral heroism. The monster charges. Su Hong stands his ground. The gray-skinned horror with glowing fists closes the distance against the man who has killed many powerful enemies. Next, he calls, like he's running a queue. The lightning answers before the enemy can. This is customer service, and the complaint department is fatal. "A monster, he's a monster," they scream. Their assessment is finally accurate. It has taken them multiple defeats and several dead comrades to recognize the threat. Blood gathers. The pyramid pulses. Is this their so-called sacrifice? The real boss music starts. Not a cultist, something that actually outranks them. Golden wings spread. A halo descends. A noble of a celestial race has descended. "Why have you not knelt?" Bro brought the divine ego to a no-hit run. "So strong," Su Hong breathes, actually sweating. The celestial race is stronger than anything he has faced. For the first time, he openly acknowledges that the fight is difficult. The stakes have risen sharply. The winged noble smirks. He thought this possession would be like before, erasing humans. He did not expect a monstrous genius. He decides to eliminate a future threat now. His reasoning is standard villain logic. The host body complains. Blood Key hasn't reached Tier 4, already struggling. This Celestial's running emulation software on a potato player character, the lag is existential. Possession? Blood Key, not at Tier 4? Physical body will collapse? Su Hong processes faster than the system can render tooltips. Then, who kills whom is still undecided. Rushing Thunderfist, Su Hong commits. Golden Clash. The Celestial blocks and the impact rings across the battlefield. 2 gods in borrowed bodies, negotiating with violence. The elders watch from their cliff. The Celestial's physical body is truly powerful, one admits. The other isn't looking at the angel. He's looking at Su Hong. The main point is what is up with that Su. And Su Hong is 1 realm lower than the Celestial. The expected hierarchy no longer holds. Su Hong is lower in level and worse equipped, yet he is winning the exchange. The Celestial screams, asking what kind of physique Su Hong has. The question has been raised since the start of the story. Su Hong's body simply exceeds normal classification. What's wrong? Tired? Keep going. Su Hong taunts like he's the final boss now. The role reversal is complete. The Celestial came to farm humans and became the side quest. Ever since awakening the Overlord body, I've never felt this refreshed. The reveal drops. He was holding back. Before, afraid of accidentally killing someone. Now, only one thought remains. If not for this physical body being too weak, with my strength, the Celestial laments. Su Hong agrees. Yeah, if only your true body were here. The disrespect is astronomical. Divine Treasury. The Celestial screams his ultimate. Golden portals open, spears rain from heaven. This is the cutscene attack. This is supposed to be unblockable. Those golden spears actually possess the power to kill a Tier 3 martial artist. Su Hong looks up, not afraid, evaluating. The system notification hovers. He's reading the patch notes mid-fight. The elders panic. Hurry and save, point him. Su Hong is a precious treasure. The other elder stops him. Don't worry, Su-hong still hasn't used his ultimate ability move. Topping. Topping lations a blue. The smirk returns. 9 sky-breaking spears, third stance. He's not dodging the divine treasury, he's matching it. Blast. Golden fire versus golden spears. The sky breaks. The technique names don't matter anymore. This is 2 suns colliding, and one of them is human. Impossible. The Celestial's final word. Su-hong's fist answers. Carbonization. The divine body crumbles, the host falls, the outpost collapses. Oh, my precious darling, my great genius. Grandmaster Wang kicks the air in celebration. The other elder grabs Su-hong's face like he's inspecting a legendary drop. Bullshit, a student rages. Su-hong is overwhelmingly strong. The 3 of us tied together are no match. Finally, the peer review process produces accurate data. Exactly. Su-hong takes down each Tier 3 cultist in a single move. The surviving witnesses now see his strength directly. They are shaken and impressed. Su-hong checks his status. Wind and fire techniques are listed with their proficiency, total martial values, 484-2. The number has risen from a corrupted negative value to a value that should exceed normal system limits. Celestial race planet, Celestial temple. Cut to the consequences. Tianming, the possessed noble, reports his failure. Tianshang smiles. The real celestial nobility just added Su-hong to their watch list. Tianshang says here like he's accepting a delivery. The celestial race doesn't mourn their losses, they optimize. And Su-hong just became the next patch's main target. Back at base, the peanut gallery's already placing bets on when Su-hong strolls through the door, like he's a delayed Uber, not a walking patch note for divine violence. His handler explains the delay. Su-hong wanted extra time to train in the forest, so the old man returned alone. The night sky gets a whole speech bubble to itself, reassuring everyone that our boy isn't stupid, which, narratively, is exactly what you say right before someone does something cosmically stupid. 2 days later. Deep in the monster forest, something ancient and scaled has made the classic mistake of spawning within rendered distance of the protagonist. Su-hong sits on a tree stump in a hellish forest. The system repeatedly awards him plus 0.1 mental power. The beast roars, the claw descends, and Su-hong doesn't even rotate his camera angle. He's still grinding mental stats while a boss phase triggers around him like ambient weather. 1 golden palm strike later, the monster's on pause, not dead, just held. Like Su-hong discovered the admin command for reality and decided to test it mid-fight. Su-hong activates weapon condensation art. He forms a spear from nothing. The spear pierces the clouds, the serpent lunges, the golden blast connects. Su-hong remains seated in meditation. Massive sword descends, rock formation shatters, a bloody hand reaches from the debris, and we're supposed to believe this is the tutorial zone Su-hong hasn't outleveled yet. He watches shadow figures dissolve with the enthusiasm of someone checking their email. Scatter, he says, like he's dismissing pop-up ads, not monster remains. Su-hong wants to try triple attribute, fusion, fire, lightning, and a third unnamed element. Double attribute fusion is no longer enough. He loses control. The elements clash. The energy spirals. For one moment, it seems the system may not be able to brute force this. Lightning strikes silhouette. Rocks float like the physics engine crashed, and the narration admits even a failed fusion carries apocalyptic weight, which is just chef's kiss dramatic irony. Su-hong lies battered, chest heaving, and casually calculates that a completed fusion might injure a Tier 4, the Manhwa equivalent of, I almost died, but the damage per second check looks promising. He walks away from ground zero carrying a flaming spear. The explosion has finished. Cut to an industrial complex. Someone shouts that Wang Tiantuo and his group are challenging Su-hong again. The old guard watches. The challengers declare victory, unaware of Su-hong's current strength. Su-hong arrives in his hoodie, looking like he got lost on the way to a convenience store, while the arena's already dusted and dramatic for a fight he's not emotionally invested in. The trio announces they have all broken through to Tier 2. Red auras blaze around them. Su-hong smiles, touches his cheek, and says basically nothing, which in protagonist body language translates to, I have already calculated your funeral expenses. Then the flames erupt, the spear ignites, and his feet leave the ground, because walking to your opponents is for people who still need to prove something. The old man stammers, asking if Su Hong was not just early Tier 1. The panel frames the question with awkward timing. The red-haired woman pulls Tier 2 Spirit Reader like it's a trump card, and Su Hong responds with weapon condensation art, the same move he used on a monster, now aimed at people who thought they were special. Golden Sword. Massive explosion, yellow crystals everywhere, the arena's becoming a gacha pull animation, and these three are the consolation prizes. The woman screams, blood sprays. Su Hong floats with his spear, breathing steady, eyes off the enemy, checking his mental stats. Onlookers stare up at crystalline structures. Su Hong stands among them, radiating calm confidence. The defeated realize he was not using full strength before. This rematch was him collecting data for the system, not expending real effort. The red-haired woman steps back, finally understanding that Tier 2 is a neighborhood Su Hong moved out of while she was still decorating. He stands before a colossal shadow, spear ready, luminous fist forming, and we cut to military base explosion because apparently the B-plot also needs to feel inadequate today. Someone shouts to find Wang Jiantuo and Lin Xinghe and tell them not to come closer. The onlookers are being evacuated before Su Hong's power level registers fully. The suited characters feel excluded. The old man sees a Tier 2 Spirit Reader and freezes, unable to process the gap between a rare talent and Su Hong. The bearded elder laughs, calls him a monster among monsters, and the suits look like they just checked their retirement accounts against inflation. Su Hong asks if they should stop the chaos, already knowing the answer, while standing over bodies like he's deciding whether to tip at a self-service restaurant. The old man looks down, something catches his attention, and the panel holds its breath because we've seen this face before, right before a boss enters unauthorized airspace. Fiery wing erupts, golden bird descends with talons extended, and suddenly the tutorial zone has a random encounter that didn't read the level scaling memo. Su Hong stands among the unconscious, clothes torn, posture casual. The man in white sits up slowly, visibly shaken by the defeat. Qin Tian Li, name finally dropped like a patch note, unleashes purple energy and gets interrupted by a monster bird with opinions about who gets to destroy this real estate. The bird roars, the not afraid of you speech bubble hangs in the air like a death flag with good lighting, and Qin Tian Li is still processing that he's not the final boss of this encounter. Purple energy swirls around the area. Su Hong floats at the center of the storm, not engaging, only observing the energy's behavior. He looks up at Tier 7 Grandmaster Heat and calls it crazy, the first honest emotion we've seen, because this is the first thing that actually required him to look up from his phone. Su Hong swallows, stares at God-tier destruction, and calls it no different from a battle of gods, which means he's already calculating the speedrun route, and the emperors don't even know he's coming. The training camp bus pulls back into Star City and Su Hong's already tired. Fellow students crowd around Su Hong, reacting with sudden excitement now that they recognize his strength. They warn him not to target them later. Su Hong gives no sign he has learned their names. The city lord's mansion hosts Su Hong with a red carpet and a banquet, a clear acknowledgement of his power. Inside, the room splits into two ecosystems, people who belong here, and Su Hong's uncle and aunt wearing their best clothes and looking like they got lost on the way to a PTA meeting. The principal of No. 1 High School, Li Xingshan, finds them personally. This is the first time anyone's treated Su Hong's family like they have a reservation. The city's elite compare their children's bloodlines. Lin Xinghe's father wagers on the barbarian god body. Xiao Yan's father wagers on spirit telekinesis and an A-grade movement technique mastered at first tier. The Star City Lord, Wan Ni, presides like a dealer at a poker table where everyone's already all in on their children. Lin Xinghe's father claims his son's movement technique defeats both before they can react. Xiao Yan's father slams the table. The blonde woman watches men argue about their kids and declines to mediate, might beat them up instead. She says once that kid arrives, the bragging parents will stop talking. She means Su Hong, first tier, primary stage. She calls it intuition. The training camp bus arrives. The students who place second and third return bandaged, bruised, and collectively traumatized. Their fathers demand to know who defeated them. The answer is someone faster, stronger in telekinesis, and unwilling to admit defeat. All three broke through to the second tier. They still lost. One father asks if a monster appeared in Star City. The students reply, "That guy is a monster." Su-hong finally appears, carrying a golden-tipped pole, looking like he wants to go home for dinner more than he wants this banquet. The crowd recognizes him. Someone shouts, "Little Hong!" His aunt and uncle push through photographers, get nearly trampled, and Su-hong catches them with a telekinetic field before they hit the floor. The aunt asks what happened. Su-hong says, "It is nothing." The uncle says they were worried. Su-hong is already planning how quickly he can leave. Then the revelation comes. Su-hong is a spirit reader. The room's political calculations shift immediately. The blonde president laughs. Her school is about to rise in standing. Other schools' representatives are already calling to demand Su-hong's file and preparing gifts. One man calls his wife. He's found a perfect husband for their daughter. Send her to the mansion, dressed nice. Speedrun matchmaking. The city lord produces a villa and $3 million in cash, prize money for first place, he claims, though the timing suggests he saw Su-hong's family had no money and opened the console. Then Wang Ni makes her recruitment pitch. She promises help with anything Su-hong needs. The handshake remains uncompleted as the terms hang between them. Su-hong thinks, refuse and offend him, accept and owe him forever. The system doesn't have a dialogue option for politely decline, and also, I out-level your entire city. The city lord's hand is still extended. Su-hong looks at it the way you'd look at a terms of service agreement that auto-renews. He says thank you. The city lord smiles. The more requests Su-hong makes, the deeper he will be bound to the Wang family. Su-hong smiles back, accepting the obligation with courtesy. He turns to his uncle and aunt and tells them to wait. They stand frozen, unable to believe they have been seated at the city lord's table. The city lord produces paperwork. Off-panel, a property deed is being transferred and notarized under official coercion. Then the armory reveal. Rows of golden alloy weapons that cost more than the villa. The city lord is playing gotcha with military hardware. Su-hong notes that an A-grade alloy weapon runs hundreds of millions. The city lord is trying so hard to win him over, he's accidentally opened the dev console. The city lord recites Su-hong's credentials. Rank 2-7, attribute martial artist. Rank 2, spirit reader. Special physique surpassing the barbarian god body. He's not wrong. Su-hong stands there with 6 elemental orbs doing lazy figure eights around him like he's a screensaver. The uncle asks what happened to the city lord all of a sudden. The city lord's expression shows he has calculated the value of binding Su-hong to the family and cannot say it plainly. Back to weapons. The city lord offers to disassemble an A-grade alloy spear shaft so Su-hong can make do. This is like offering to break down a Ferrari for parts because the kid needs a bike. Su-hong declines. His Thunderfire spear will serve as the shaft. He only needs a 3-attribute spearhead for now. The word only is doing impossible lifting. Then the city lord mentions anomalies. Multi-attribute fierce beasts appearing near Stargazing Lake. Multi-attribute natural treasures born from the same disturbances. Su-hong's interest sharpens. A spectral wolf beast wreathed in blue energy and flames flashes across his mind's eye. Stargazing Lake. He files the name like someone adding a location marker to a speedrun route. Cut to the old neighborhood. The city lord's private car, license plate 001, arrives with screeching force. The landlord's wife is mid-sentence about raising rent and evicting the Su family. Her mouth is still open when the car door opens. Someone says Su-hong got first place at training camp and came back in the city lord's car. The Su family has struck it rich. The landlord's wife's face does a full system crash. The uncle announces they're moving to a villa tomorrow. The landlord asks about refunding rent. The aunt says, keep it, we're not poor anymore. The uncle says, don't embarrass Hong. Su-hong watches this from the courtyard. He says he is surprisingly reluctant to leave. He is trained here since before the system elevated him. Night. Cross-legged. The blood key notifications stack like a slot machine hitting jackpot, plus 0.1, plus 0.1, 700 times. Breakthrough. Mid-stage rank 2. Red energy swirls around him as the system confirms the advancement. His body hasn't adapted yet. He checks his phone. It's cracked but functional. The phone has survived what his physique is still processing. He researches the anomalies. A flame beast touched a mysterious shard, gained thunder and earth attributes. 3 attributes from one object. The game has undocumented drop rates. Tomorrow, they move. Then Stargazing Lake. Suhong is already planning his cultivation route while the city sleeps. The villa move is complete. Gift boxes everywhere. Suhong's uncle and aunt are doing the "We must never embarrass Hong" speech to an empty room because Hong is already face down on a couch. He has survived the social obligations, the formal greetings, the handshakes with people who measure status by square footage. His reward is exhaustion and the knowledge that Stargazing Lake awaits. Cut to the martial artist base. The courtyard is busy. Everyone's grinding. Suhong finds his corner, the one where the render distance drops off and the NPCs haven't loaded yet. He's observing the field. Tier 1 martial artists are complaining they can't even go out without getting robbed. The balance of power has shifted. The server population is too high for low-level zones. Meanwhile, in an office that smells like expensive cologne and vendetta, someone confirms to a man in a suit that yes, Suhong killed his nephew. The man taps his shoe. That's not a nervous tick. That's the countdown timer. Back at the lake. Suhong is leaning against a tree, running calculations. No Tier 1s in sight. Everyone here is Tier 2, Tier 3. The anomaly has drawn the mid-game players. He's still doing his corner training routine in a zone that outlevels him on paper. The water bubbles. The sky cracks blue. A serpent the size of a public transit route erupts from the depths. Everyone scatters like they just pulled a world boss without checking the recommended level. Tier 4 martial artists arrive. The kind who treat Tier 3 dual attribute beasts like sushi prep. 1 minute, the serpent is threatening the server. The next, it's sashimi. Suhong watches from his tree and does the math. He won't get a single drop staying with this party. Then the proximity sensor activates. Not a beast, a person. Moving wrong. The footwork is assassin class. Suhong's spirit reader flares, the system user interface he had not needed because nothing had ever survived close enough to trigger it. The masked figure lunges. Suhong delays the attack with spirit reader, just enough to realize the intel is garbage. This isn't a Tier 2 with Tier 3 combat power. This is a Tier 2 who also has a Tier 2 spirit reader build. The game client lied to the server. 6 more figures, all Tier 3. The math arrives like a push notification. Over a dozen Tier 3 assassins and 1 Tier 4 martial artist deployed to eliminate 1 Tier 2. Someone's credit card is screaming. Someone's uncle is very angry. Suhong runs. Not from fear, from resource management. His ki is depleted. His mind is exhausted. The flying swan's startling cloud steps technique carries him across terrain while the pursuers struggle to match his stamina. He thinks it through. Yi Chi. Yi. Feng's uncle. Tier 3 martial artist, but with family resources enough to hire a small army. The Yi family paying premium rates for overkill. Suhong's death is listed as a luxury service. The tactical red. Kill the Tier 3s fast, then focus the Tier 4. But fast means burning resources he doesn't have. His overlord body is running on physical stats alone now, the cultivation equivalent of playing on a controller with dead batteries. He stops. Plants his spear. The pursuers catch up, breathing hard, complaining about the chase. Suhong's expression says he's already read their patch notes and found the exploits. The masked leader receives new orders through a glowing square device. Lock down the anomaly areas. If Suhong escapes to Star City, the mission fails. If he survives, prepare to die. The orders carry an implicit death threat for failure. They find him again. The chase resumes. Suhong moves through the forest like he's speedrunning a route he's memorized, because he has. Every tree is cover. Every rock is a pivot point. The assassins are playing catch-up on a map he's already optimized. A cliff. A spear planted in the ground. Suhong stands at the edge, looking down at the weapon that marks his temporary respawn point. The pursuers shout from below. One of them was mid-bathroom break when the alert hit. No dignity in the assassin geek economy. He kicks off the cliff. A flying strike catches the first pursuer mid-shout. The runes on his forehead flare, spirit reader active, calculating angles, predicting movement vectors. He's not fighting, he's processing combat data. Back to Star City. The buildings rise like safe zone markers. Su Hong walks through the streets with his spear, the uncle trailing behind like a quest non-player character who finally caught up to the plot. The official territory line is crossed. The assassination attempt ends at the city limits. Even hired killers have terms of service. The deduction locks in. Yi Chi, martial artist base. The one who wants him dead enough to deploy a small nation's worth of combat resources. Su Hong's expression doesn't change. He's already adding the name to his farming route. The supply base inn. Wooden walls, bright sky outside, the kind of place where martial artists go to pretend they're not on a clock. Su Hong's already found his corner. He studies the room with focused patience. Other cultivators boast of 3-star veins and A-grade treasures. Su Hong simply stands holding a burger, waiting for something to happen. The intel identifies star-veined ink, purple bamboo. It is a multi-attribute natural treasure governed by magnetic field rules. Tier 4 martial artists die instantly trying to seize it. Su Hong considers whether his overlord body can withstand the gravity. He receives no answer. Then the floor becomes a suggestion. A red-cloaked figure crashes through like they misread the enter key for delete. The tavern's social hour is over. Su Hong does not flinch. He has been waiting. The assassins have finally arrived. They're finally here, he says, noting that they came as expected. 5 masked figures in an alley. The leader's got dialogue. Weren't you good at running? Su Hong's corner training stance activates. He's not running this time. He's farming. The masked leader orders the area cleared. Civilians scatter in alarm. Su Hong remains seated, assessing the situation. Don't tell me you're planning to wipe us out all by yourself? The masked figure laughs. Su Hong's smirk shows confidence. He has 3 attributes. They are not prepared. Fire wraps his arm. The sword ignites. If I don't try, how would I know it won't work? Su Hong is testing an unproven technique in live combat. The masked figure sees it. 3 attributes. His voice cracks like a twice-high note pushed through a broken speaker. That's 3 attributes. The choreo hit different, and not in his favor. Everyone scatter. Too late. Su Hong's lightning-wreathed sword is already forming. The corner training stance is no longer defensive. It is the wind-up before a full power strike. Explosion. Not a technique name, just the sound of Su Hong's chi budget exceeding the render distance. The building forgets its physics engine. Onlookers stare at the crater. To kill a Tier 2 martial artist, is it really necessary to use a martial skill with such immense power? They do not understand. Su Hong has no low-power setting. He commits fully or not at all. A figure lies at the bottom of the pit, coughing. The masked leader looks up from the rubble, frustrated, sweating. What a terrifying power, and it's a 3-attribute martial skill. Why wasn't this mentioned in the reports again? Someone's intelligence division is getting a 1-star review. The leader slams a glowing gauntlet down. Orange energy erupts. He is burning resources now, desperate, the kind of reckless expenditure that signals panic. Su Hong vanishes from view. Where'd he go? The masked figure cannot track him. Su Hong is already behind him. The corner training stance appears from the shadows. Red aura, back turned, the posture of a man who knows the fight ended 3 moves ago. The masked figure's eye goes wide. Could it be? Yes, it could be. It is. Su Hong grabs a Tier 3 martial artist like he's collecting a daily quest reward. I might not be able to kill a Tier 4 martial artist, he says, body slung over his shoulder. But do you think I can't kill the Tier 3 martial artist under you? He is already calculating the next route. Thick earth armor, upgraded overlord body. The damage that should have crippled him barely registers. The system user interface no longer limits him. See you later. Su Hong's gone before the loot animation finishes. The remaining masked figures stand in red leaves and regret, watching the kill feed scroll by without their names on it. Somewhere in the debris, a single red eye glows. Not Su Hong's. The client who paid for this. The uncle. The credit card that fought overkill was a service tier. The patch notes just dropped, and his nephew's killer isn't even using his final form. Su Hong skipped the group and left for Stargazing Lake a full week early. Back at the gate, Stone Arch, Red Banner, a crowd gathered for the same treasure. The people he ditched are still processing it, starting with a silver-haired man and his fan. He'd wanted to bring our guy along as a group outing. Too slow, Su Hong checked out 7 days ahead. The corner training stance doesn't do RSVPs. It does solo queue. A red-haired woman runs the numbers on him and quietly gives up. They rested 7 days, he rested 1 before heading out to train. Her verdict: don't measure yourself against a monster, the monster being the guy who already left without them. Meanwhile, the people betting on him not reaching that lake, a severed armored hand smacks concrete, and a man in a sharp suit grins at his phone like a contract just cleared. The clan that keeps paying for his head is sweating the same math. One frets that a dead Su Hong points every fool straight at him. The other knows the city lord prizes the kid enough to erase their whole clan over it. He's less a person now, more a diplomatic incident with a pulse. And here's what he walked, a week early to reach. The bamboo forest, where violet energy erupts from the floor and a purple dome slams shut over the canopy, a gravity field booting up like a raid mechanic nobody read the tooltip for. A bamboo stalk folds under the weight. The treasure sits dead ahead, completely out of reach, and the field is already failing the gear check, the one Su Hong hasn't even walked into yet. A kid in gray robes buckles under the purple rain while 2 elders watch the damage per second meter. The backpack guy asks the real question. Bones hold, sure, but do your organs enjoy 30 times gravity? The competition's lawyering its way out, and the favorite isn't even here yet. The fan holder and his rattled friend get cornered by a bald bruiser and 2 hooded tagalongs. And the field's cruel joke lands: the stronger you are, the harder it crushes you. 4th tiers walk in and instantly regret it. Bad for everyone here. Worse for whoever ends up between Su Hong and the prize. One cultivator gives up on the bamboo entirely. Precious, sure, worthless if you can't reach it, and goes hunting the divine artifact instead. Another pings something on a compass relic, and the whole field lurches for the same coordinate. Not one of them is the guy actually built to take it. The bamboo lights up with little constellations, a dark sword sulks in the same field beside it. Somebody whines there's no way to grab either one like this. Nobody's got an answer right up until the answer walks in shirtless. And there he is. Su Hong resolves out of the trees mid-spinning kick, and somewhere, an enemy starts a sentence. A 4th tier leading a pack of 3rd tiers, and they still can't kill one, and never finishes it. Neither does the 3rd tier. Off to the side, a hooded, scarred man wrestles a glowing blue sword away from a white-robed figure who will not release it. The struggle is a secondary fight, distant from the main confrontation. The white-robed swordsman slams back against a pole, white energy still screaming around him, face all shock and pain. Whatever just landed, it landed hard. Turns out the guy in the pristine robes is on the receiving end of this fight, not the dishing out end. Blue eyes flick up, and they're his. Our protagonist clocks a heavy aura rolling in across the grove. When the guy who breaks tier lists says someone else feels powerful, that someone else is usually about to become a problem. He lunges, big sword swinging, at the white-robed, long-haired one charging back with that glowing blue blade. Sunlight through bamboo, 2 trajectories picking the exact same point in space to disagree. Corner training stance. A fiery slash tears loose with the name of the move, riding it, overwrite. The system just shipped a hotfix nobody got to beta test, and the patch target is a person. The explosion that answers doesn't earn a technique name, just orange light and physics filing for resignation. A dark-haired figure stands in front of it like a frame that forgot to load the next one. When the embers settle, the protagonist, staff in hand, faces a masked, cloaked figure in a scorched ring of bamboo. The ground is torn and sparks still drift through the air. A light-haired enemy in a brown cloak swings and announces today's the day Su Hong finally dies. Bold scheduling. Putting his name on it just confirms they've added the kid to the quest log as the boss. He sees the pale, glowing-eyed figure lunging for him and identifies it as a demon cultivator, one that already knows his name. Cultists are ahead, a 4th ranker is behind, and he must deal with both threats. He drops into a heavy stance as orange and yellow energy gathers around him. The system bearer forgoes any transformation and simply increases his striking power. A lightning-wrapped fist. Yellow blast against a wall of blue water. The elements convene a meeting, and our guy isn't on the agenda. He is the agenda. A long-haired cultivator exits stage left at terminal velocity. Physics, here, is a strong suggestion. Out in the forest, a different scarred veteran, white-haired, sword in hand, blood on his lip, looks up in disbelief. A 2nd-tier martial artist has just done something that should be beyond his tier. Somewhere far from the blood, A man leans into a glowing blue screen and reacts to a location lighting up. That place? He's watching the feed. The damage chart just spiked into a color the user interface team never named. A figure in a blue tunic falls down a wooded cliff. It is not the protagonist, it is someone who tried to retreat from a pursuer who would not let him escape. Gravity takes him. A short-haired man with a fresh bruise screams for someone, anyone, to stop the kid. 4 little brown-robed critters charge in on cue, adds the encounter filler that exists to pad a timer. Our protagonist doesn't pad. He truncates. Su Hong, blue-eyed and focused, assesses the situation, cultists in front, a 4th ranker behind, no clean exit. He does not complain, he inventories his options and plans the fight. 3 cloaked schemers run, while reassuring themselves that the monstrous technique can only be used once. They refuse to believe the boy can use it a second time. The plan is to stall him long enough for Bai Ao, the 4th ranker who has been trailing him, to catch up and finish him. The plan assumes he waits to be stalled, he leaves instead. A cultivator wreathed in blue gets half a command out. Everyone, go all out and stop, and the sentence just ends. That's not him finishing a thought. That's overwrite, arriving mid-syllable to delete the command, and the man giving it. A bald, scarred cultivator catches a red lance of energy through the chest, the gore that makes you check whether the scamlators got creative or the raw was just committed. Then our protagonist drops a glowing sword through a monster's skull and the kill feed scrolls. 2 cultivators with fresh purple wounds stare, 1 move, 1 kill. They are shocked. The outcome has been predictable from the start. 2 more, rally the brothers and charge. The charge ends immediately. A spiky-haired cultivator leaps through a lightning bloom shouting his technique, sea-treading, and an unnamed golden blast counters it. A golden-orange torrent rolls through diagonally and overwhelms whatever defensive rotation they had prepared. A young cultivator in a brown cape lunges with a staff and cracks the ground, except the ground breaks before the staff lands, because he has already moved past the strike. Shirtless, staff in hand, a small spark of a companion drifting at his shoulder and an energy pillar dropping behind him, our protagonist looking borderline heroic for once. Then a white sneaker lands on a curved surface in a burst of purple. Render distance, meet the main character. 3 cultivators in the bamboo do a collective double take. The kid just crossed a dozen steps in a blink. A dozen steps of a gravity field that flattens 4th tiers. He moves through it like the engine forgot to load his collision mesh. A white-haired man in a brown cloak fires purple energy after him, snarling that hiding in the gravity will not save him. He is shooting at the mechanic. The mechanic does not react. It only notes that he is not slowing as much as its readings indicate he should. A young 4th tier in a white gi states the calculation out loud. A dozen steps deeper means 100 times gravity. His math is correct. The protagonist is simply operating under a different standard, one where his capacity is enough. A lone swordsman sprints at a crumbling dark pillar. A bandaged figure with 1 working eye clenches a fist and curses the gravity outright. The field is democratic. It hates everyone. It just hates our protagonist a little less. Then it's pure smear. A blade coming down in purple-white, a spearhead flaring against the burst. The panel rate laps the comprehension rate. His combat is a bandwidth test, and the reader's connection is throttling. Shirtless, glancing back at a cloaked figure through the rain, he decides this spot is safe enough for now. The safety is temporary. He is already preparing for the next fight. And there it is. The 3-star patterned ink, purple bamboo, glowing, constellations crawling up the stalk, close enough to taunt him. He notes it's also right in front of him. Also. Like it's a side objective. Like the real quest were somewhere else entirely. A pale, face-like surface curves into a small smile in the dark. Uncanny, unhurried, the kind of environmental detail that suggests the bamboo is watching back, or something inside it is. Sword planted in the dirt, leaves spiraling off it, and the gravity keeps climbing, heavier by the second. The sword's a save point. The art shows the stamina bar. The user interface refuses to. Spear in hand, corner training stance, the field crackling around him, and our protagonist finally admits it. He's hurt. He's near his limit. The first genuinely honest status check he's let slip in a long, long time. The finish line's a dozen steps off. The question is whether near the limits matters when you're this close. So he sits, folds his legs, and lets green healing energy wrap around him. Heal the injuries first, The demon cult crowd cannot follow him here anyway. For them, the gravity field is a wall. For him, it is a room with a door he has not yet opened. Two onlookers watch him meditate in the glow and either miss the point or nail it. He's a dozen steps from the ink-purple bamboo. They're watching the any percent route. The skip that shouldn't exist. A man in purple robes starts delegating. Get Lin Chen and the others here. Combine forces, put the kid down, do not let him walk out. Because that divine artifact is probably inside the bamboo, and if our protagonist reaches it first, every one of them is dead. The artifact's a maybe. He's a certainty. So he sits and meditates, green light knitting him back together, a dozen steps from the prize, Bai Ao closing in, Lin Chen's squad inbound. It's a race now, the healing has to finish before they arrive. Corner training stance, overwrite, gravity optional, and the one stat he can't brute force counting down on him. A winged man sprawls face up, a black feather buried in his throat, mouth still open on a scream that never finished. Somebody put it there, and the demon cult is about to start counting bodies, with the math pointing at one teenager. 3 scouts stand over the corpse doing live threat assessment. Are the cultists hunting Su Hong or just the treasure? It's a false binary. In this genre, the protagonist is the treasure. He just hasn't hit the loot table yet. They sprint off with a worse theory forming. If Stargazing Lake is locked down and the martial artist base hasn't moved, maybe the base is in on it. The theory sounds paranoid now, but the betrayal will come later. A young man with a freshly rearranged face and a phone makes the time-honored loser's call. He's escalating. If he can't win, Dad's resources can, and Dad apparently owns enough manpower to seize 2 locations at once. The call routes to the City Lord's mansion, where an older man in a suit takes half a sentence to start mobilizing. We don't get his name or his stake, only that one call here moves an army, now aimed at a fight none of these people understand. Then the camera finds him, blue-black hair, one visible eye, 0 urgency. The kid an entire mansion just mobilized against, looking like he already ran this fight in his head and didn't bother saving the replay. Over with the demon cult, a cloaked figure walks into a ring of robed followers and asks where everyone else is. This is the squad Lin Chen got called in to lead, and roll call is short because the kid's been trimming the head count. A masked enforcer fronts him and states the losses out loud, a dozen of his people, gone, supposedly to a mere second-tier nobody. He cannot reconcile the numbers. Su Hong's power level was never on their charts. An older swordsman in white cannot accept the report either, a 3-attribute fusion art from a second tier. He dismisses it as a poor excuse. Disbelief is common in this region, and Su Hong keeps forcing it. A glowing-eyed observer confirms it anyway. 3 attributes. Real, no trick. Correct data, wrong conclusion. They think they've found a rare technique. What they've actually found is a character creator with every slider jammed to max. 2 armored cultists watch the glow and land on the only motivation that matters to them. Handle the kid, or the Lord handles them. Nothing sharpens a work ethic, like a boss whose performance review is fatal. And in the middle of all of it, Su Hong just heals. Green light folds over him. An A-rank technique doing exactly what the label promised, body and energy climbing back to full. No panic. For one quiet beat, the corner trainer gets to be still. He looks up at a crowd massing in the purple haze behind him, not a threat he fears, only more opponents he will have to cut through before he reaches the bamboo. His internal plan is purely practical. Grab the 3-star patterned ink, purple bamboo, leave immediately, do not stay to fight. Extraction logic. The objective was never to win the room, it is to seize the prize and let the remaining enemies search for him in vain. Then he's moving, crimson dagger in hand, a giant purple sword crackling at his side like the game handed him 2 weapon slots and dared him to choose. The composition screams, Boss Arena. It just hasn't settled who the boss is. A white boot comes down and the rock under it simply quits, purple energy spitting out of the cracks. It's the kind of entrance that doesn't carry liability insurance. Inside the gravity field, the pressure scales up with every step Su Hong takes deeper in. Su Hong forces himself forward and continues advancing through the intensifying weight. Behind him, a masked enforcer and a marked-up lackey set the trap. The second the bamboo comes loose, the field drops and they swarm. A textbook gank predicated, as always, on the target cooperating with their timing. Sweat sheets off him, a cry tearing loose as the gravity bears down like it's taken his persistence personally. The panel sits on the pane, not for pity, just to remind you the protagonist has a ceiling. He's only better than everyone at ignoring it. Stripped to the waist, teeth clenched, he drags himself the last stretch toward the bamboo. You can practically hear the breathing, the sound of soloing a gauntlet boss with no healer, and the cooldowns grayed out. A silhouette settles in, dark trousers, white shoes, a spear, a field of purple light. The frame goes quiet and patient, the calm before he claims the treasure. Then his eyes blow wide in the violet glare, and it isn't fear. It's the specific look of a speedrunner spotting a door the level designer swore wasn't there. The scenery states the stakes directly. This field grinds solid stone into powder, the same field the kid has been walking through. The environment confirms the danger he is enduring. And there it is, a dark, angular shard hovering over the shattered crystal, something dripping off frame. This is the loot that wasn't on the map. The kind that only spawns when the game clocks a player too stubborn to die. Our Mick reaches for the shard with the universe's most loaded question hanging over it. Could this be treasure? Reader, it's the arc redefining kind, the sort that makes every fight up to now look like a tutorial warm-up. He turns it over, and the expression shifts from curiosity to mild alarm. Small, unremarkable, easy to lose in an inventory full of swords, right up until the stat screen finishes loading. He tries to bend it and gets nowhere, full strength, zero give. Whatever this is, it laughs off his current power level, which means it's either a gear check or a lot more than a side quest reward. A finger, a lip, a single bead of blood, the frame holds its breath. This is the visual grammar of an awakening, the small sacrifice that flips the switch on the next tier. Then a palm goes up in a burst of spectrum-colored light and a shadow recoils off frame. Either the artist found a new filter or something just switched on that was very much off a second ago. His whole body lights up as all 7 of his energies decide to spike at once. The bars max, the user interface scrambles to keep up. This is what happens when a divine artifact shard syncs with a system that already treated the ceiling as a polite suggestion. Dark red energy swallows him whole, the aura eating the details of his face. This is the before frame of a transformation. The energy isn't surrounding him so much as rewriting the character sheet. He drops into a meditative seat at the eye of it, power turning inward instead of out. This is our boy digesting the shard, letting it integrate, letting it become load-bearing. The 2 enforcers finally clock it. He's sitting down to cultivate mid-fight. Then the worst realization lands. He bent down a second ago. He picked something up. You can hear the exact moment they understand they're already too late. Cross-legged in a vortex of purple-red light pouring off him, all 7 attributes don't just climb, they multiply, past tenfold and still going. That's not a power-up. That's a patch note that voids the entire balance pass. And the thing that would not come together for so long quietly finishes, the 3-attribute fusion. Done. No montage, no speech, just the system confirming what the audience knew. His ceiling is whatever number comes next. Glowing hands, a yin-yang orb spinning in the purple, the universal shorthand for balance locked in. The shard didn't just hand Su-hong power, it closed a circuit that had been missing a wire. He reads the result off his display and lets himself look smug. One shard did all this, and it belongs to something called the 7 Gods Cauldron, a relic that blows clean past S-rank. He's found the infinite money glitch. Then the dangerous follow-up thought. There are 99 more of these. He calculates what collecting them all would mean, and the question becomes a new objective. 99 fragments, 99 steps toward recalibrating the power scale. Su-hong stands, the new weight settling into his shoulders, purple light streaking past. The corner training crouch is gone, replaced by the posture of someone who just read his own patch notes and realized he's the only one who got the buff. Staff in hand, rain coming down, energy still bleeding off him, he looks less like a kid mid-treasure hunt and more like the boss the arena was built for. The cult wanted a hunt. They're about to get a patch they can't roll back. Su-hong already has a demon cultist on his knees, demanding the location of the Star City stronghold. The lackey's big counter, a vow to drag him to hell, carries all the weight of a resignation letter. The reply is a red fist and a technique name detonating across the page. 1 strike, 1 energy wave, one opponent downgraded to a smudge of fading light. Dust clears and he's alone, summarizing the whole exchange as one bored word. Gone. The man fights at boss tier and reviews it like patch notes. Then the humbling cut, he sits down and admits he's lost. Survived a gravity field, a divine shard, 2 rank 4s, undone by an absent minimap. Green recovery energy kicks in. He assesses the cost. The triple attribute fusion nearly emptied his reserves, and the rank 4s could have won if they had fought strategically instead of letting pride drive them. Elsewhere, the 2 cultists who escaped debrief the only way they can, screaming. Their entire squad got erased by a single rank 2, a sentence that breaks the math they were promised. Cut to the martial artist base, Star City's clean, regulated, professional face of the system. The signage says order. The next 2 panels say otherwise. Inside, a suited man turns a red talisman over, satisfied. This is Ye-Chi, a mid-tier schemer with limited foresight. Then the report lands. The assassination failed. Ye-Chi cycles through every stage of grief in one panel, mostly skipping ahead to panic. Panic becomes flight. Ye-Chi bolts, telling himself to put Star City far behind him. The architect of the failed hit just realized he was never the mastermind, only the loose end. He doesn't get far. A pursuer wreathed in golden fire cuts him off, almost amused. Ye-Chi, where do you think you're running? The cult has sent someone to collect its own failed asset. And the collector isn't staying human-shaped. A hulking silhouette looms, eyes flaring demon red, a hand sheathed in crackling crimson. This isn't an arrest, it's the cult deleting a liability. The crimson strike comes down with no taunts left to spend. Whatever deal Ye-Chi meant to pitch dies with him, a schemer who outlived his usefulness by exactly 1 failed contract. A familiar glow cuts through the smoke. Su-Hong emerges, eyes lit, lightning sheathing his body. He meets the enforcer's killing intent and answers flatly, hard to say. The healing break is over. Staff blazing gold, he renovates the room with a single blast. Arriving late just means he gets to skip straight to the finisher. The demon enforcer eats all of it, bloodied and crackling, and signs off with 1 word aimed at Su-Hong, monster. From a cult cleaner's point of view, fair. Aftermath in fast cuts, a burning skyline, the shirtless lead holding his staff, a building still on fire behind him as he walks away. The destruction marks the scale of what just happened. A crowd gathers the way crowds do at disasters, phones out. Black vehicles and a limousine seal the block while someone barks the order to encircle. The word ripples through them. It's the city lord here at last. An older man, gray-streaked and bearded in a formal suit, steps up, and notably, he's not here to make an arrest. The bystanders are already drafting witness statements. Ye-Chi deserved it. Help the kid. Su-Hong didn't just win the fight, he won the comment section. Then he debriefs his absurd luck, casually explaining how he walked off with the 3-star ink purple bamboo while an official's jaw unhinges. The city lord's response is the surprise, kindness. The city lord watches the city burn, orange glow catching his gray hair, wearing the specific exhaustion of the man who has to file the paperwork on a teenager's rampage. Somewhere darker, a glowing-eyed silhouette demands answers and gets a wall of fire instead. The cult's leadership is taking the loss with the grace of a flipped table. A 3-car convoy rolls through the rain, the city lord personally escorting Su-Hong, who delivers his report with a smugness the older man cannot match. The full picture clicks. Ye-Chi colluded with the demon cult to send rank 4s after him. The city lord's hand lands on his shoulder, the universal gesture of an adult deciding to own this problem. The warning is the practical kind. The next squad won't be rank 4 amateurs, it climbs to rank 6, even rank 7 grandmasters, a tier Su-Hong can't brute force yet. Then the cryptic part, even a rank 7 won't manage to kill him. Said with total certainty, like the city lord knows a rule about Su-Hong that Su-Hong hasn't read yet. Back home, worried faces check him over, alarmed by all the blood. Su-Hong tells them it is beast blood, he is fine, and asks them to stop fussing. Alone, he pulls up the stat screen, the status menu that quietly runs this whole world, and starts reading himself like a character sheet. The catch, he can't farm martial value while confined to the city. He spends a point anyway, and mental strength ticks to 501, a number the narration would like you to remember. He tests it on a glass of water, and the water just lifts. Then it gets stranger, a drifting blue slime, a white-robed figure over glowing liquid. The system has menus he hasn't unlocked. Hard cut to the most dangerous location yet, school. A teacher scolds Chen Shan and Li Tu for crashing the wrong class while students whisper about some genius. Su Hong walks in wearing a tracksuit, bag over her shoulder, dressed as a civilian. His enemies had anticipated the disguise. Because the hallway fills with red-eyed figures, one firing a laser from his eye, the whole school turning on him at once. His only question? Why is the entire campus trying to kill him? And that's the cliffhanger. Su Hong is back on campus, and his fame has gone supernova. A wall of students in matching blue blazers swarms him, shoving phones and questions in his face. Tell us about your exploits, like he's the final boss of a press conference he never agreed to. Fame finds the corner trainer whether he wants it or not. One student, wide-eyed, drops the headline that even Old Lee lost his composure when the news broke, and Old Lee is the instructor. The whole school treats like an unshakable statue. The rumor mill is working overtime, and Su Hong is the only story worth printing. A hand lands on his head and stops the chaos. An older man in glasses, gray-streaked, with the authority of someone who outranks the entire mob. "Don't be so distant," he grins. "Weren't you just calling me Old Lee?" The principal is waiting, and the crowd parts like someone just named the raid leader. In the principal's office, Su Hong sits on the couch without visible tension. He has survived assassination squads and gravity field attacks in the past week, so a principal summons does not disturb him. He asks calmly why he has been called. Li Chengshan, the principal, identifiable by his gray mustache and the principal's office sign behind him, hears the full story of the assassination attempt and the bamboo treasure. A white-robed figure appears beside Su Hong without warning, and neither of them acknowledges it immediately. The principal's expression shifts between horror and admiration. Su Hong casually notes that Li Chengshan is Tier 3, a quiet admission that he's been reading the principal's power level this whole time. The principal waves it off with a grin that's part bravado, part warmth. "Don't worry, I'll go easy on you." The funniest part is that Su Hong genuinely believes someone needs to go easy here, just in the opposite direction. The principal makes it public. He's sparring Su Hong in the gymnasium, and every student without a class is required to attend. Su Hong tentatively suggests a more private venue, the gentle tact of a man who knows he's about to embarrass his principal in front of the whole school, and Li Chengshan just laughs it off. That laugh is going to age poorly in about 10 pages. The gymnasium fills with a semicircle of hundreds in seconds. The gym becomes an arena. The crowd becomes a chorus. Li Chengshan stomps the floor and erupts in golden flame, powering up to full Tier 3 intent despite everything he just said about taking it easy. The crowd cheers for a beatdown they're certain is coming. Su Hong's internal monologue is devastatingly polite. "I cannot injure the principal. I need a skill that's weak but doesn't look like I'm holding back." He settles on a B-rank technique, the cloud-hidden gale punch. Blue energy swirling around his fist, then opens with a blast that scatters bystanders on the running track like bowling pins. An observer notes his output is already reading comparable to Tier 3 on a late Tier 2 kid throwing a deliberately soft move. Li Chengshan answers with his signature giant rock fist, his entire arm transmuting into a jagged stone bludgeon that blots out the gymnasium lights. The blast sends Su Hong careening across the floor, and a lean man in a tan tunic who is standing too close gets launched alongside him. This is a genuine Tier 3 strike landing on a late Tier 2 target, and the building shakes like it agrees. Su Hong recovers and presses. A rapid series of heavy strikes that drives the principal backward across the floor, each landing with force that shouldn't come from a student. Li Chengshan answers with a glowing counterpunch that redefines the phrase indoor environment, but his expression has slid from confidence into strain. The exchange is supposed to look even. It isn't. Li Chengshan is sweating, and the internal monologue leaks. "If I really lose to Su Hong in front of this many students, I'm doomed." He's panicking because he's realized Su Hong isn't trying to lose convincingly. He's trying to lose without embarrassing the man who signs his report card. A blonde student takes collateral damage and screams on the mat, and the crowd still thinks Su Hong is the one getting beaten. Then, the reversal. Li Chengshan finds himself caught at the throat by a massive rocky gray hand, his own giant rock fist energy turned back on him. His expression shifts from confusion to revelation to raw, unfiltered emotion. He weeps openly and declares his love for Su-hong. The gymnasium goes silent, and somehow nobody in the crowd caught the actual technique. They just saw the principal crying over a student. Li Chengshan composes himself, clears his throat, and announces to the assembled student body that Su-hong is the most outstanding genius First High School has ever produced. The crowd applauds, though most did not witness the events themselves. Su-hong accepts the praise with quiet composure. Behind closed doors, Su-hong drops the real ask. The college entrance exam is a month out, and he needs someone strong enough to drag him to Tier 3. What follows is a training montage. He trades blurring blows with a silver-haired partner on a stone terrace, then meditates with a red aura bleeding off him, while the principal quietly drafts extra sparring partners to share the damage. The results speak for themselves. Su-hong stands between two thoroughly wrecked older men, the principal and an elder in a blue robe, both looking like they lost an argument with a truck. A woman with long light brown hair asks why the pair of them look so completely beaten up. The answer is on their faces. Su-hong spars like he's speedrunning the endgame, and the NPCs don't get invincibility frames. In a separate gym, a new face takes over. A blonde woman in black athletic gear with zero patience, standing over Su-hong's collapsed body, torn shirt, bloodied face, cracked floor. Outside, a city billboard counts it down, 5 days until the college entrance exam. The training has stopped looking like preparation and started looking like demolition. She presses her palm to his head and accuses him of faking exhaustion. Su-hong denies it with the last breath he has, and the close-up tells the truth. Red streaks are creeping into his black hair, red energy radiating off him like something he's been holding back. The room around them is wrecked, and the corner trainer is not quitting. He's evolving. The trainer steps into a dim industrial room and makes a phone call, urgent, clipped, the kind that quietly changes the trajectory of a training arc. When she comes back, she tells him to do it now, attempt the breakthrough, right here, right now. Su-hong settles cross-legged on the dojo floor beneath a blue banner, and the room holds its breath. The crimson vortex erupts around him, violent, blinding, an energy storm that swallows the frame and spits out a silhouette that doesn't look like a student anymore. Su-hong opens his eyes, red streaks burning through his black hair, and the corner of his mouth lifts. Finally, I'm about to become a Tier 3 martial artist. The patch is compiling, and the next tier is already loading. President Wu is already at the office doing the math in her head. Star City has never produced a Tier 3 initial stage examinee before, and the resource allocation she's about to unlock is going to hit the association's budget like a raid buff. The silhouettes on the balcony don't know it yet either, but the ceiling just got recalibrated. She practically skips through the lobby with her escort of bald men in dark suits, and the entire staff freezes in confusion. One of them leans in to whisper the hot new gossip. Is the president in love? She's humming. She's actually humming a tune while staff scramble to keep up. Downstairs, the men confirm she's headed toward the backyard training area. Cut to that training area, where a figure in white trousers and red ankle bands gets launched across the floor by a swirling red-purple energy blast. Someone's breakthrough attempt is going poorly. Su-hong sits cross-legged, commanding his energy to gather as his body glows with compressed red aura. A close-up reveals the cost, sweat pouring down his face, a single sharp fang exposed, every muscle locked in the kind of exertion that separates a breakthrough from a collapse. The energy explosion launches him off his pedestal and he slumps on the floor, panting. The first attempt failed. He composes himself, resettles into the cross-legged position, and the red aura surges around him again, attempting the breakthrough a second time. Half an hour later, the caption finally confirms what the red streaked hair and focused expression have already told us. This is Su-hong, and he's just compressed all the violent blood chi into his body. His hair now carries glowing red streaks as the energy intensifies, his white shirt straining under the surge. A close-up of his eyes showing white glowing irises ringed by golden concentric rings. This is the moment the system visualizes the breakthrough threshold. He commands the barrier to break, and the entire panel explodes in a chaotic blast of white and gold light. A shirtless Su-hong leaps forward through a golden ring of light and trailing pink-red energy. He breathes heavily, exhausted, then mutters a quiet, almost disbelieving question to himself. Is this what Tier 3 feels like? He tests the new power immediately. A punch with a technique shout, blood chi release, and a colossal red energy fist erupts from nowhere, striking downward with force that would have been impossible an hour ago. Standard post-level up etiquette. This is what the tear jump actually means. Ranged attacks without needing a named technique. Pure blood chi projection. The system interface pops up. Martial value, 0. The measurement bar has reset, confirming what Su-hong already understood. Every new tier wipes the counter clean, starting a fresh progress track from 0. Classic video game nonsense. He stands up from the gym floor, grabs his clothes, and decides to go share the good news with President Wu. He steps shirtless into the corridor, a sharp crack sound effect underlines his entrance, and is immediately confronted by President Wu, a gray-suited man and a tall man in a blue suit. Peak dramatic timing, questionable wardrobe. She accuses him of trying to flash her deliberately, and the comedy lands, because between fighting assassination squads and surviving gravity fields, this is the first thing that actually embarrasses him. President Wu, already on the phone to City Lord Wang, summons him urgently to the association for an apparent teacher meeting. Su-hong crouches in the background in his signature corner training stance. Even now, standing in the middle of a corridor in a cropped shirt with a cartoon face on it, his default mode is still the combat pose that built his entire fighting style. Cut to the City Lord's mansion, where his son Wang Tiantoa, black high top knot, black sleeveless tank, bursts through the doorway, shouting about his own breakthrough to Tier 2 mid-stage. A middle-aged man in a white shirt adjusts his tie, gives a flat response, and the son immediately complains about the lack of excitement. Then the City Lord interrupts. President Wu just called. Su-hong broke through to Tier 3. The son's expression drops into confusion and deflation. His entire achievement, announced in the same room just moments ago, is already irrelevant. Bad timing, great comedy. A black luxury sedan pulls up at the association, and the camera sweeps across the room where 4 stern officials sit in silence behind a long table. Su-hong, now wearing a white cropped t-shirt with a cartoon face, enters the dimly lit room and asks plainly what they need to tell him. The City Lord holds a document and begins the briefing. He's compiled a list of high-level martial artists who have visited Star City recently. Su-hong reads from a tablet, the Imperial Capital Ling family, Grandmaster Chen Budo, the Magic Capital Wang family, nearly 100 individuals in total. Su-hong's reaction is genuine, worried, 100 names, and he doesn't know a single one. The City Lord warns him directly. There are traitors among the human race's high ranks, and they will try to eliminate a human genius like him. President Wu reassures him, once he enters Magic Capital Martial Arts University, no matter how bold the moles are, they won't dare touch him there. A condescending blonde advisor with purple eyes chimes in with a warning. Imperial Capital students have deep backgrounds, and with 0 family connections, Su-hong won't be valued there. The City Lord and the older officials confirm that Su-hong was given a free choice between the 2 universities. President Wu sits on the couch, casually holding a small flame in her hand, completely at ease. Ours would like a word. Su-hong states his decision clearly, Magic Capital Martial Arts University. The officials run through a rhetorical list of his accomplishments, who killed Yechi at the martial arts base, who killed dozens of demon cult fighters who challenged the training camps of 6 different cities. Each question is a callback to his on-panel past, and each answer is the same person sitting on the couch looking genuinely surprised that they have this much of a file on him. The surveillance budget is showing. The City Lord adds the final weight, as Star City's #1 genius, Su-hong, carries the city's image on his shoulders. Then President Wu, with the energy of a fan who just got their bias in the group chat, asks the City Lord to rate Su-hong's new outfit, the cropped cartoon t-shirt that she personally selected for him after the breakthrough destroyed his clothes. The City Lord, visibly struggling to maintain his composure, gives a shaky thumbs up and calls her taste wonderful. Su-hong stands there in the ridiculous shirt, and the entire room pretends this is normal. An airplane flies above Star City Airport. Su-hong is leaving. At the airport, the City Lord in a formal suit arrives with a bespectacled aide. A tall man in a double-breasted gray suit and a woman in black with a purple scarf walk through the terminal. Then a formal handshake. The elderly official welcomes the younger man, who explains that his teacher ordered him to handle the Star City exams. This younger man, swept back brown hair, sharp hazel eyes, high-collared black garment, responds with wounded pride. I'm a Tier 5 martial artist. Actively trying to look up to a student hurts my dignity. Pride is a flat stat. He dismisses the entire city of Star City, noting that in previous years they haven't even had a single Tier 2 examinee. The Star City Martial Arts exam venue is a full stadium under a bright sky. Officials in black suits checking combat power detectors, robotic machines with multi-legged frames, glowing cylindrical pods ready to measure exactly where every student stands. President Wu is on the phone, asking where the examiner is. The guy was supposed to be picked up. The city lord points across the stadium. Look, right there. The examiner is a man with brown hair, dark sunglasses, and a digital cat ear filter, leaning in close to Su Hong and cheerfully demanding a smile. Su Hong, bewildered, asks who this person even is. Wang Lindao introduces himself, the examiner for this test, here specifically to make friends with Su Hong, and the city lord facepalms while Wu calls him thick-skinned and shameless. The exam announcement cuts through the chaos, same format as every year, but students at Tier 2 or above take a special train to the provincial capital for specialized testing. Su Hong's expression sharpens. He knows where he's going. One official mutters that nobody informed him about the provincial rule, and the response is a casual, "We accidentally forgot." The kind of administrative oversight that changes everything. Across the crowd, rival martial artists are already sizing each other up. A silver-haired man in a pink robe congratulates the black top-knot fighter beside him on advancing to mid-tier 2, and then asks if he's already surpassed Su Hong. The crowd is huge. Students murmur that everyone came specifically to see what tier Su Hong will register. One confidently speculates he must be at high tier 2 at minimum, a prediction about to be hilariously invalidated. Su Hong meditates in a void of vertical red streaks, entirely unmoved by the speculation swirling around him. The calm eye of a storm of noise, he's already passed what they're guessing. The combat power detector registers Su Hong's result, and Lin Xinghe and Xianan look on in absolute shock. Whatever the number was, it broke their composure. The machine, presumably, is also reconsidering its career. The white-haired man erupts, turning his frustration toward a companion, while across the venue, 3 dejected students sit slumped as the result sinks in. One admits quietly they'll never be able to surpass Su Hong in their lifetimes. 2 young men in the crowd react with awe. Su Hong's reading surpasses their teachers and is comparable to the level of a school principal. The upward comparison anchors the scale. It's not just good for a student, it's good by any local standard. A student in a red jacket laughs to himself while everyone around him looks rattled. Someone, evidently, read a different syllabus. Then 2 middle-aged men from other cities react with frustration. One demands to know why Su Hong isn't his son, why his child Xinghe can't match this. An unidentified figure's internal thought is shown. He must ensure his daughter Xiaoyan is dressed up for the occasion. He intends to make Su Hong his son-in-law. The marriage negotiations are already being drafted without Su Hong's awareness. At the officials' table, nameplates reading Wu Linxian, Wang Lindao, and Wang Ni. President Wu congratulates City Lord Wang on nurturing such an outstanding genius, affirming Star City's standing. The nameplates confirm what the dialogue already told us. The power structure has its formalities. Wang Lindao stands on the stadium balcony, prefacing his formal assessment by noting he handles exams in many different cities every year and has seen a great deal. This setup is about to land with professional praise for the kid he complained about evaluating. A system bar graph interface appears. Star City's cultivation resource bar is dramatically smaller than those of capital cities. The visual disparity so extreme, it needs no explanation. The user interface designer did not spare feelings. Wang Lindao delivers his verdict. Reaching Tier 3 in a resource-scarce small city is exceptional, and if Su Hong had access to what capital city students get, he might already be Tier 4. The scene cuts to Su Hong, where several signs reading Su Hong are held high, with one fan shouting declarations of love and saying he wants to have his babies. In a futuristic hallway, Su Hong's Star City teammates gather. Wang Tiantoa, Xianan, and Lin Xinghe, each weighing what his Tier 3 result means for their own shot. A train station platform, a white-haired woman in a pink coat, a spiky black-haired man in a brown jacket, and a short black-haired man in a blue jacket board, a high-speed train. Su Hong, blue jacket and black backpack, appears to be among them. A blue masked competitor waits among rows of seated examinees. The road to the provincial capital is a sea of unfamiliar faces, and not all of them are friendly. On transit, a confrontation ignites almost immediately. A muscular, red-haired man laughs while clutching a blue can. A lean, brown-haired man with a toothpick stands beside him, both surrounded by a swirling red aura, aggression leaking from every panel. The can remains the calmest passenger. Multiple lean figures with glowing red eyes are pushed backward by a burst of energy. The red eye detail carries the visual language of conflict from the earlier arcs. Two more combatants stand with glowing red eyes, enveloped in intense crimson aura. A jagged purple slash cuts across the cabin. Su Hong's team strikes back. Lin Xingha waves off the red-eyed attackers, calling their intimidation childish. The red eyes apparently do not confer maturity. Xianan answers with her name technique, spiritual telekinesis, an orange-red aura flaring around her hands. She refuses to lose face for Star City. Su Hong stares forward with absolute calm, blue energy flames rising around him. Blue eyes, blue aura, Tier 3, and the scene shifts from a scuffle to something much bigger. Color coordination. This aggressive is rarely accidental. Su Hong stands between two companions, a woman with a high brown ponytail and a man with a long black ponytail, as a brilliant blue energy shockwave erupts outward. The panel fills with electric arcs and glowing shards of light. Someone's renderer is working overtime. A massive blue energy explosion fills the frame. The scale of his power release escalates dramatically beyond anything the rival group's spiritual telekinesis was capable of. This is what Tier 3 output looks like when it's not holding back. A colossal blue energy creature manifests, beast-like in form, jagged teeth, glowing eyes, roaring with its mouth open wide. Su Hong's blood chi at Tier 3 takes an animal form manifestation the series has never shown before. Budget episode? Apparently not. Su Hong stands at the center of a towering pillar of blue energy, completely composed, blue-tinted hair in a high-energy system context, calm while everything around him burns. His hairdresser has earned hazard pay. The blue energy beast drives forward, clashing against a figure with red skin, a direct force exchange. The blue creature's maw opens wide again, a second massive roar triggering shock from onlookers. A glowing blue bird of energy erupts from a swirling crimson vortex. A second animal form emerges from the same power source. Whether the beast and bird are the same manifestations seen from different angles or two distinct shapes, the scale is undeniable. The power level math remains unclear. The budget is not. A man with long white hair is violently blasted backward through a gray stone corridor, thrown clear by the attack's force. Multiple men in blue robes and dark tunics follow, the corridor filling with energy streaks and motion lines. A long brown-haired man with a thin goatee watches in stunned silence and identifies what he just witnessed, a Tier 3 martial artist. Three men inside a building react in disbelief. A backwater like Star City produced a Tier 3. Local pride just became an existential problem. Su Hong dissipates his blood chi deliberately, standing calmly as the energy fades, the confrontation over, control demonstrated. On-panel text reads blood chi dispersed, and the message is clear. This wasn't a struggle, it was a display. He even remembered to turn the lights off. Su Hong's teammates sit in a blue-lit cabin, Lin Xingha, Xianan, and Wang Tiantoa, all serious now, quietly recalculating after what they'd just watched him do. Su Hong stands in a bus aisle, looking thoroughly unimpressed. The opponents provoked immediately without even a greeting, and that was the full extent of their threat. The dismissiveness after a Tier 3 power display underscores how far beyond them he already is. Public transit etiquette remains unchanged. A terrified onlooker in a black hoodie watches one of the red aura attackers and privately resolves to run the other way if they cross paths during the exam. The red aura attacker descends on him fast, an aggressive, unknown quantity among the provincial competitors. The high-speed bullet train streaks across an elevated track above green forest. Motion lines and lens flare emphasize speed. The journey to the provincial exam continues, and everyone on board now knows at least one thing about the kid from Star City. On the bus, Xianan asks Su Hong directly, is he aiming for Magic Capital or Imperial Capital Martial Arts University? Wang Tiantoa and Lin Xingha sit nearby, all ears. Su Hong returns the question, asking what the group is aiming for. The traveling companions take stock of each other, each revealing their ambitions. A confident rival with sharp blue eyes smirks. He's headed to Magic Capital too, and he wants Su Hong to know they'll be competing once they're inside. Standard rival procedure, filed on schedule. The silver-haired companion gives a cheerful thumbs up and warns the group, Magic Capital Martial Arts University expels students who underperform every year. Nobody coasts there. The stakes for the upcoming university arc are laid out. Admission is just the first filter. Su Hong looks forward with sharp-eyed determination as President Wu's earlier words come back to him. Magic Capital judges on merit, not background. Here I come.